3, 2, 1, record. Welcome, audience, to my birthday pick.
Happy birthday to you.
Leaves up your fingers.
Thank you. Anyway, today we'll be looking at the Ace Attorney movie.
Ten blood habits.
Okay, go on, Welsh.
No, I won't.
Anyway, yes. One of the actual good video game adaptations out there, the Ace Attorney movie, a movie that was so successful that it not only made lots of money in Japan, but even made it over to America and got quite a few theater showings. Sadly, though, there was only a DVD release for certain countries, and it would be tough to get it over to America for the DVD release. But anyway, we're here to watch it right here today.
All right.
Yay.
Okay, there is something we should mention. We did try and do a commentary on this movie once before, but unfortunately it was a pretty mangled commentary.
That and it got a
Yeah,
bit too chaotic. It was back when we were a bit less professional.
What is actually the logo? I remember seeing this logo before. Which one is that in particular we need to tell people to start over?
This is the exact. This is the remember, Teo, they also had this logo in the Okawatch movies. This is the logo that takes place in every Japanese movie ever made, apparently.
Wait.
Like
We started already? I thought we were going to announce.
No.
But hell, the Japanese versions of the Pokemon movies also have this thing.
We haven't started yet, Deji.
Basically, Deji, we tell people to start in sync with us, so we need to start from a specific point.
Okay, good. You guys just gave me a heart attack.
So basically,
No, you're
audience,
fine, you're
start
fine.
right before the Japanese logo that has a white and blue rushing in background, not quite the Toei logo.
Whatever. Let's start from there.
A logo.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jova.
And 3, 2, 1, click.
And this was directed by Takashi Miike, who's done previous adaptations of video games in Japan.
So he had enough experience.
He's a pretty controversial director over there.
What has he directed?
Space.
I think he did like one based on a fighting game. I'm not quite sure.
Can you repeat that? The Dweebs, sorry.
He did like an adaptation of a
No,
fighting.
who did that?
Takashi Miike.
Let me check. Maybe no, it couldn't be the King of Fighters.
Oh
movie. I'll
wait.
check.
OLM participated in this
I
movie?
think they're just like a
Special effects.
maybe.
Why are you surprised?
I wonder
Look at
if
this music.
I wonder
You
if
were saying?
Darksaw knows anything about.
Oh, okay. Basically, this starts off with basically a sum up of the first 3 cases.
Okay.
Well, actually, this is sort of actually setting up the thing for the 4th case, actually, in the past.
True. Yeah, well, after this then.
So we start with
And also to be fair, the first section is a sum up of the first case and the 3rd case simultaneously. The 2nd case and the 4th case are linked together in this movie.
Whoa,
Yeah, you're right.
it's magic. Sorry.
that's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, in fact, allow me. This is the first.
The
I
hell?
don't remember Ace Attorney having an apocalypse.
No.
Yeah,
Basically, this is kind of the afterlife for Japan, which appears to be Hiroshima.
yeah. This is typical in Japanese media. They love bringing in Hiroshima imagery.
So we start off with what else? A spirit channeling.
Yeah, of course.
The one, what Neo's in this? The one who killed me was
John
the
Cena.
one. Da.
In fact, here's the first problem I have with this movie. Right?
Yogi Bear.
The tone, yeah, the tone is completely wrong.
What?
No. It's not just the tone. It's not really to absorb. Okay, there are silly stuff that happens in the movie. It's not like the movie goes full. It's not like they Zack Snyder this shit. The problem, here's my first problem with the movie. It doesn't do, if you ask me, a good enough job in setting up the characters for newcomers. Because it goes on a bit too fast over the course of these first 3 minutes.
This court,
The first court, right? The first case.
yeah, this courtroom is terrible.
That's
Yeah.
actually the idea, basically. Now, that's actually the idea. Allow me to explain. This film emphasizes Phoenix's rise from naive rookie to ace attorney. So, to emphasize that, the rookie's kind of get the smaller, more pathetic court, whereas the actual professionals get the actual professional court. It's a nice addition to character.
That actually
still
adds
annoying
to
even in live action.
That actually adds to the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi,
However,
George.
the problem is
Steel
it's a
Samurai.
murder case.
What was that, Deji?
I said that actually adds to scenery. However, the
Yeah.
problem is since it's a murder case, Ethan, it get a better
Deji,
trial.
let's just say the way Japan law works is, well, quite different from how our law works. So,
Implying that we're not the same.
Yeah, here's a
Jovahexeons.
yeah. Here's another problem. We keep jumping from case to case. Like,
well, to be fair, Pedro, we only
geez.
really, to be fair, Pedro, we only really jump between these two cases, which are happening
Who is this
simultaneously.
guy?
Is that Mr. Payne?
It's so
Yes.
weird, yeah.
Why is Wisdom Payne the defense attorney of Turnabout Samurai?
Search me.
And why isn't the judge bald?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason, the only thing to get the judge bald is the stage play. But anyway, basically, two cases are shown side by side to sort of introduce us to our two protagonists, Miles Edgeworth, and of course the titular Phoenix Wright. The verdict.
What the? Oh, hi, Mia.
hey, Mia.
Yeah.
She doesn't look anything like the character from the game. Where
She's not
her
nearly
boobs-
as
Oh,
hot.
you're just complaining because she doesn't have enough boobs.
And to be fair, her hairstyle and
No,
costume are
but the
just
hairstyle
right.
is a bit of a mess, but
And
the
hey,
rest
she's
seems in the norm, I guess.
she's more in character.
so- nah, sorry.
She's more
Sorry,
in
that
that's nowhere.
was-
That was nowhere near as funny as in the game. The game has much better comedic timing with that.
All right, can I just say something right now? There are some things that obviously can't be transitioned well in live action. Let's be real here.
Okay, I do like that little gag they had with the whole.
Yeah.
Confetti.
Yeah. Another compliment that this movie gets
Wait,
a lot is
we
like,
didn't-
well, is that the characters look mostly a lot like their in-game counterparts, which again I applaud.
Even though they look incredibly ridiculous.
But hey,
So it doesn't
Pedro,
transition where in
you know,
live action.
the problem with the first two games is that Mia didn't really have much character, and
Yeah.
yet in this movie she's actually more in character than her sister is.
True. Not to mention the fact that Mia
That's
does
sad,
get
yeah.
not to mention the fact that she does get a better sense of character in this movie. Maya too, but sadly they kind of downplay her more happier aspects.
Downplay, more like flat out remove.
No. She does have her happy aspects here and there. Again, they're downplayed, sadly.
But why? That's the whole. That's why would you do that?
Because there's way too much content to
Also,
fit
why
in a
is
90-minute movie.
Larry, no, okay, Jova, maybe I remember wrong, but Larry Sprite did not have a goatee, did it?
Yeah, he did have a
Yeah,
goatee.
he did.
He did actually
I
too.
forgot.
I want you to keep
The
is that
Thinker.
Thinker
The
statue?
Thinker, remember.
Yeah. See,
Oh, this totally won't be the death of me. Oops.
see. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing.
Okay,
the
if I have to
reason,
say one thing
One at a
for
time,
you,
one
on
at a
you,
time.
Pedro, the appearance of Mia looks actually more older, so that's not a good thing. Go ahead, Pedro.
yeah. Here's the thing. The reason this scene will work well in the game is because there was we had an entire case building up to this. This I mean, just showing us this scene in the context of this movie means very little, especially if you're a newcomer.
I will explain.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's the
they
problem.
sort of present the characters here and then build on them later, which technically does work, but admittedly, it will kind of keep you on your toes in a rather frisky way.
What,
So,
I get, you know what this feels to me? This feels like an Ace Attorney fan film.
Yeah.
directed
I mean-
by Eddie LeBron.
No.
It feels to me like they wanted to just, take the best scenes of the first game and redo them in live action rather than actually adapt the game.
Well, to be fair, let's be real, that
okay,
would be hard.
So,
Ah.
let's see. Manfred van
Well-
Kamera's.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not what that's a terrible look for Von Karma. It doesn't look it doesn't look scary at all, actually.
Well,
Take your meds.
Yeah, he looks like
Well,
he could be
they-
Kantar.
While they got spot on the costumes, the appearance and some haircuts are completely off.
To be fair, that's kind of because, let's be honest, anime characters never really look like actual Japanese people.
I'm not complaining at all.
Honestly, Jova, that's the kind of the hint that they should have just made an anime in the first place instead of.
Sorry
this.
about that.
We did make an anime.
It's a shame that the anime kind of did a worse job, though. I mean, honestly,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has its own share of problems.
yeah. To be fair, the movie is the better way of adapting the thing, regardless of how some may like it or not. The movie does do a better job of actually summing up the events and still having a sense of flow here and there. The anime had the goal to make Farewell My Turnabout only the norm of 4 episodes.
Not just that, they altered so many things without a proper reason at all.
So did this movie.
No.
So how come it's fine here and yet bad there?
Because this movie still keeps a lot of the key moments without altering them too much. And by God,
it?
Manfred von Karma's breakdown in the anime is so lame.
Is it?
Yeah.
Basically,
sure,
sure.
you know the animation where he bangs his head at the wall?
Yeah.
It's not in the anime.
Yeah.
What?
Whereas in the movie, they do even more than him just banging his head on the wall. In fact, that's
Well,
yeah.
You know, since I popped away for a little bit, if it hasn't been said already, in terms of, how good of an adaptation this is, they adapted the aesthetics pretty well, especially with the costumes and the hair.
Okay. So far from what I can see, while the costumes and that look about as good as you can get really in live action, the actual tone of the movie and the way it's shot,
not just that, Dweebs. The thing I noticed is also the scenery doesn't seem,
they look really out of place.
I mean, the anime had problems, but at least it got the tone right.
Excuse me, but what about this movie gets the tone wrong when it does have the dark elements and the humor?
Why is the okay? Let me ask you then, Joe. Why is the lighting so dark in some shots? Why are some characters like Maya, for example, more serious than they should be?
Well, the dark stuff, lighting-wise, is an aesthetic choice. As for Maya, that's a characteristic choice.
Well, in that case, I have to say that it was a bad aesthetic choice. Then
I do have one question, though.
What?
Would you guys say that this film was made specifically for fans, or was it trying to appeal to everybody else?
Both.
Well,
Both.
honestly, Deji, to me, I don't. To me, this movie disappoints me both as a fan of Ace Attorney and as a filmgoer in general, because I don't find it to be a good adaptation, and second, I don't find it to be a well-constructed movie on its own anyway, so to me, it just fails on both fronts, honestly.
As for me...
Don't get me wrong,
Hold on, Pedro, he asked me, jeez. Anyway,
sure, sorry.
Basically, I mean, well, for me, though, I think it succeeds on both, and going off of how well and how many new fans of the series it created, it looks like it did succeed on both. I mean,
so it made new fans, great, but
well, not only that, hold on, let me finish. And even in the case of Maya, her happy elements are still there, as I've said, and as you will see in the movie. Again, if anything, they sort of accentuated her kind of occasional downer thing. They flipped her from being usually happy and kind of a downer to being kind of a downer and occasionally happy.
Oh God, she's dead!
Another thing, Jova. The movie doesn't really have time to establish, Phoenix and Mia's work relationship before killing her. I mean, they barely interact with each other.
That's actually something to do with the movie
why
itself.
are you handling the murder weapon without gloves, you idiots?
Not just that, like it's... Hi, Maya.
Anyway, basically, this movie doesn't so much focus on Phoenix and Mia's working relationship, so much as it focuses on other relationships.
In that case, why am I supposed to feel bad about Mia's death then?
You didn't seem to really feel bad about her death in the game.
Actually, I did, but...
But at least in the game, we got at least some time to build her character.
Okay, let me...
No, that's not Gumshoe.
No, sorry, no. I refuse to accept that as Dick Gumshoe.
I can imagine, because there are not that much, robust people in Japan. But come on, guys.
Anyway, where was I?
Who's that guy?
Perry White.
Red White.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But I thought it was April May that saw it.
Oh yeah, April May.
It was April May in the game.
Oh my god, he actually flipped the note!
Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's what they did.
Oh, come on, one positive!
Yeah. I should probably also mention.
Common sense.
I should probably. Hold on. I should probably also mention that this movie does actually do its job to erase a few plot holes from the first game as well, so that's another thing. Basically, what this movie does is basically it connects cases 2 and 4 into an overall story that do get you to know the characters, albeit in something of a different order. See, the difference between this and the anime is like, well, while some of the events in which you get to know the characters are a bit out of order, they're still there, where sadly the anime omitted some of those moments.
Also, Jove, another question. Because I completely forgot about this movie ever since we tried to comment it on. But is the pacing throughout all this movie this fast?
No. It's
because I mean, in these first 15 minutes, a lot of stuff had happened. I know they had to sum things up, but even in presenting the single scenes, everything moved fast as Sonic, I have to say.
Allow me to alleviate your worries. Basically, they sort of speed things up here and there, but once we pretty much get to the main plot, it all fleshes out. Again, that's why I said it's like, well, you are going to get to know the characters, and that's sort of why newcomers were actually keen with this movie, because, well, let's be honest, if they hadn't introduced the characters, well, this movie would have been a disaster.
Also, hey guys, can you just hear that catchy Ace Attorney music in this film?
Well, they played the turnabout, the Steel Samurai theme earlier.
Basically, they play Ace Attorney themes in and out here and there, just not always, which sort of is to give a bit of weight to it. Basically, Dweebs, in the games, you would hear these themes over and over again, but here, they're kind of played for, you know, the moments that really call for it, which makes sense.
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that they bothered to, you know, fix up some of the plot holes from the original Shitakumi script. But if you're going to take away the characters' personalities, or at the very least, you know, alter them to the point where they're nowhere near as good, I don't really care if you fill in the plot holes, honestly.
Although, really, it's only Maya who gets altered. Everyone else is pretty much kept in character.
The only reason why I asked that question earlier, Jova, is because I see that complaint, that defense for the Ratchet and Clank movie all the time, where it's like, yeah, it's a good movie for fans. However, since it's a movie made for the mainstream audience,
Okay, Deji.
Movie meant for the fans, but it's a kind of worms for another day.
Okay, look, Deji. I'm pretty sure even the people here who aren't particularly fond of the movie can assure you that this isn't on the level of Ratchet and Clank where you strictly have to be a fan to actually like this movie.
Okay, so we're in the trial for...
No.
Also...
Basically, this is the part where Phoenix sort of questions Gumshoe about who's going to be prosecuting the case and whatnot.
These are good cosplayers.
Don't you just love how completely enthusiastic Edgeworth's actor is in this role?
I get Edgeworth is supposed to be stoic.
Again, there's something in the scenery that just doesn't seem right. I can't pinpoint what it is.
Okay. I should probably also mention another tone about this movie is sort of Phoenix helping clean up the law world. Basically, it starts off darker, but as the film proceeds, it gets a bit lighter and more colorful, like the Ace Attorney games. Another thing I do like about this movie, we kind of do get to see a bit more of their childhood.
Larry's pretty much the only character that they actually got right to me.
They got Phoenix right too.
Wow, Joe, but this trial startup music is...
out of curiosity, were Phoenix and Maya classmates when they were younger?
Yes.
Or is that something that... Okay, so that wasn't something they had made.
No, they were classmates.
The judge doesn't give a shit.
Also, the judge has some of the best lines in the games, but in here he was removed. They removed all of that. Sorry.
Have you complained about Maya yet?
Yeah, he already did.
I'll do it later when it becomes even more evident.
Okay. If it wasn't already evident.
I have to, because she's for a long time she was my favorite female Ace Attorney character before Athena dethroned her.
Of course, it's a.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be
Wait,
some...
actually, it's ironic since a lot of people hate Athena.
Whatever.
I only found that out recently.
You know what's
It's the cool thing to hit on Dual Destinies anyway. So and Spirit of Justice.
And Apollo Justice. As
Yeah,
well.
because Shu Takumi was such a flawless writer beforehand.
Let's not open that can of worms, Dwip.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Wibbs, both sides can get dickish to each other. Although it's kind of ironic. It's like, guys,
Whoa.
All right. Okay, to give credit, this is actually one cool aspect that I like about this movie. They go completely over the top with the techno shit.
well, this is the future of 2016, wait.
That's right.
16 sucks.
Fucking holograms. This has become a sci-fi movie now.
Well, technically, considering technology it's set in the future, it makes sense in context, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they got the judge's beard right, but nothing else.
Yeah, he does get some funny lines, albeit he acts more like
And
his
also,
first
did Phoenix's
turnabout
tie have
personality.
Did Phoenix's tie have stripes originally?
What? What's...
I don't remember. Did it, Joe? I don't think it did. I don't think it did.
In some artwork, maybe, but in the original, maybe not. It doesn't really matter much.
True. It's just a little.
Objection!
So, pounding the desk creates a hologram in this film.
But so what the fuck?
Okay, another...
I'm surprised
Okay.
someone does that.
That was
There you
awesome.
go. See, there you go. That's the first step. Do
And
the
now,
whole movie
take
like
that!
this.
No, literally, take that.
This is literally what you have to do. Do the whole movie like this.
They kind of
That's
do.
what I want.
They kind of
They
do,
kind of
actually.
lost it. They kind of lost it along the way, though, didn't they?
Well, actually, no, Shirai, they don't. In fact, there's a lot more courtroom hijinks, which they actually do.
Maya, why are you?
Yeah, as is usual, the courtroom
Jim,
sections are the
what
best
time are you
part of the
at?
venture. I think you're ahead of
Yeah,
us,
I
Squibs.
think. I think I'm behind.
I'm at 20:03, 4.
Joe, I'm at
5.
2016.
Me too.
Yeah,
You're behind us, Jova.
Wait, hang on, Pedro. What time are you at?
20, 25, 26.
What time are you at,
27.
Shirai?
I am now at 21:10.
Alright.
Alright, we'll continue.
Guess I'll just pause at
Joe, you go.
2054.
Why don't you go to 2110 as well, Joe?
2054.
Yeah, we'll continue.
I think it can be easy here. Okay, then.
That's not red, white.
And go.
That costume is terrible.
Yeah,
That's not. It doesn't even. It doesn't look even remotely. It's not even close.
okay.
He looks like if Severus Snape
Okay,
makes come up.
CY. And go.
Okay. I will say this, though. Red White is that one thing that even I don't get what they're going with here. I mean, seriously? I mean, he's like Mr. Black, and if anything.
So wait, Jovi, you're saying he's my one of my former school's head teachers?
In the game,
Yes,
he
I
was
guess
a
so.
deliciously over-the-top, cocky bastard. In here, he's just boring.
He's just.
Not just that,
he's
no,
In
no,
here,
no,
he
no,
looks
no,
a little bit like Ozzy Osbourne.
Not,
That's
Yeah, he
what I
does.
was gonna say.
not just that, Joe. Question: is he still like the CEO of his own company, like he was in the game?
Yes, but he's kind of working with someone, let's just say. Your Honor, the witness just said now something profoundly important.
You don't need to narrate, Joe.
Don't worry, Joe.
I know I don't, but it's still fun to do.
I know it's a habit.
Not really, but
There are voices, so there's no real need.
Sorry, Dubs, no English dub.
Yeah, well, to be fair, dubbing over live action just looks silly.
Yeah, we've done it before, though.
I could go for some hamburgers right now.
Or,
yes,
to be fair, in this
Deji.
case,
Let's take a strut near the famous cherry trees of San Francisco.
Well, actually, Tia, we do have cherry trees in California. Ha! Bet you didn't know
Anyway.
that.
Well, Jova, I haven't been in America, so I don't know.
Also, I gotta say, the actor playing Phoenix perfectly plays up the right balance between awesomeness and classic nervousness of Phoenix. Especially during that famous scene.
Yeah, I don't mind Phoenix's actor. It's Edgeworth's actor. I get the feel.
Why does the judge look like Santa Claus?
Well, that's kind of how he's supposed to look.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean is, okay, don't get me wrong, like Dwib said, I know that Edgeworth is supposed to be stoic, but he's not supposed to be that stoic to the point where he constantly looks bored.
He gets better later on. Admittedly, though, I guess they're overcompensating for his stoicness here.
I mean, let's. One of his first animations was him doing that thing where he puts his finger on his head and smiles. You know, that evil smile that he has. So
he does that later.
Oh no, I can't remember my line.
What? Did he just came? I don't. What? I don't.
Phoenix.
He's kind of having a panic
What is he
attack.
doing? Is he constipated?
No, he's having a panic
this-
attack.
Is this
Is this a
what-
porno?
Hold on, calm down. Okay, Joba.
I guess that's a representation of a moment where he thinks to himself, I guess.
Sort
Yes.
Yeah, I
of.
was gonna say with like what we see in the blackouts.
But then why didn't
Yeah.
the lights go out?
Oh, the judge is gonna actually examine evidence on his
Wow, George, you actually wore gloves. Why didn't Phoenix do that earlier?
Thanks, Uncle Bill.
Oh, it's broken.
Well, good job, Your Honor. You broke it.
Excellent.
Well, shit.
What are you gonna do about it?
Huh.
Snape, tell us why did you became a bum?
Yeah, he's right. Tails right. He looks a lot more like Severus Snape than fucking Red White. I don't.
And also, you said earlier, as I was going to say first, he looks like Ozzy Osbourne. I'm expecting him to burst into song with Sharon any second now.
Be careful what you wish for, Dwibs.
What the fuck? What's in music?
It's build up to the breakdown.
Are we in a horror movie now?
Welcome to Saw, and Ace Attorney.
Red White is Jason Voorhees. Sure you did.
I love how the court actually gets to react to how poor these excuses are in this movie, too.
Oh my god, the court is actually not full of Marvel Universe people. Incredible.
Yep.
Silence, they were barely talking. Sorry. Don't worry, guys. What I'm drinking at the moment isn't alcohol. I don't have any.
That reminds me, at some point I gotta... That reminds me, at some point...
This movie, while may be flawed, it doesn't require alcohol to get through.
That reminds me, at some point I gotta show you guys the stage plays. Those may be the best live-action adaptations. Like, they get...
You've already shown
No, Dwibs. I said stage play, not the musical.
Actually, we had to stop commentating on the musical halfway through.
We did?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Are you sure you're
Did
not
we?
mistaking that with this movie, actually, Shiroi?
I'm pretty sure we finished that, Shiroi.
Yeah. But don't worry.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Anyway. Basically.
Alright,
Stop
more
thinking.
evidence.
Oh, well, then I'll just put it as a pick for Squim Generations.
Oh, wonderful.
Anyway,
basically,
okay, go
to
ahead.
explain, there are two stage plays, which are incredibly good, actually. They get the costumes, personality, and even add in some new stuff. The musicals are the all-female cast plays, of course, with music.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Right?
Don't worry, Deji. You'll see soon enough when I link you something.
Well, there's an Ace Attorney musical. That's all you need to know.
Which is entirely played by a female cast.
And
But
they
that's
got...
how a lot of Japanese musicals and stage plays are.
Yeah.
And they got literally everything
Anyway,
in that musical right except Phoenix's hair.
Okay,
But that's
another
another
thing
story.
I noticed, Jova, I understand it's maybe for the effect to reflect its personality at the moment, but sometimes Phoenix's objections seems, almost as if it doesn't want them to do. They have this weak impact. Phoenix objection line is notorious for being, capable of piercing through someone's stoicness.
Yes,
But in this case, he's almost afraid of saying that line.
yes, that's
I mean,
also
the first
another...
one was fine, but the subsequent, whoa,
Ah,
what the fuck?
where did he get that from?
Oh, snap. Anyway, basically, Tio, to explain he starts doing the louder objections more and more. In fact, he has done a few loud objection ones, but when he's nervous and absolutely not sure about his theory, that's when he does the weaker ones. Again, the games have occasionally done something like that, especially in Farewell My Turnabout a lot, so I'm okay with it.
Also, this megaphone quirk to Red White seems completely arbitrary.
It was Mike Meekins saying.
Did they combine Red White and Mike Meekins into one track?
They apparently combined Red White, Mike Meekins, and April May.
Which is a shame because Mike Meekins is one of my favorites.
I want to see April White. May.
Don't get me wrong. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand the appeal of having your animated stuff get adapted into live action. I understand where the appeal of that comes from, particularly because I'm a '90s kid and there was a lot of that back in the '90s. But some things are much left better animated, honestly.
I disagree though when it comes to this movie because, well, I find it awesome. As did a lot of people. It's okay. Not everything's for everyone.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the movie's horrible or anything. It's perfectly watchable. It's just that, again, I'm saying this even mainly as a fan of the series. Like, I don't think this is doing a good job representing what made the game work to me.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised. I mean, Ted's a fan of Ace Attorney, and he didn't like Ace Attorney 6.
Let's not bring in Ted's review of Spirit Justice because I could spend an entire year ranting about how that review makes no sense.
Anyway, back to the movie.
Wait, Dwibs, yes?
In terms of okay, I won't call myself a huge Ace Attorney advocate.
She's doing the Princess Elise thing.
But
so she's gonna get captured.
In terms of video game movie adaptation of video game.
Come on, Phoenix, get yourself together.
Wait, guys, yeah, Dwibs.
Hold on. Let Dwibs finish. Go ahead.
In terms of trying to preach its faithfulness, it's also trying to be a good movie. I'll say that I think this film does a slightly better job than Warcraft.
Yeah, Dwibs, they're not even really comparable. I mean, Warcraft was downright terrible. I mean, again, I can get someone not
video
liking
game
this
movie
film.
adaptations have to be considered each on its own, Dwibs. They cannot really be compared with each other. Unless we are Uwe Boll movies, of course.
Could you? I need a time, guys, because YouTube decided to fuck me over.
Go to 31 minutes.
Sure.
Okay, I'm at 31:15.
I'm at 31:02.
All right, I'll go there as well then.
Wow, Phoenix is actually pointing out.
Thank you.
31:02. I'm ready.
31:02.
All right. Whoa.
Was this movie directed by
I'm
the guy
at
who did
31:02 as well.
Is this from the guy who directed
Remember to count us in.
Okay.
Yeah. And click.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, that camera moving though? It looks like it was done from the guy who did Die Another Day.
Oh, right, the thing.
Alright, I had this with me the entire time. Oops.
Well, actually, Phoenix does realize it.
Honestly, Deji, at least it seems more a more plausible excuse when everyone forgot how to flip over a fucking piece of paper.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Let it go, Teo. Let it go.
It's an important.
It completely ruins the case and what we were going for.
Yeah. In fact, that's something that almost everyone compliments about this movie, is that it improves heavily the ending and how the second case gets resolved.
But honestly, it cannot do much considering how, like, 70% of the rest of the case is butchered or altered into a weird, horrific way.
Actually, Tio, it's not butchered and cut into a horrific way. Again,
May I remind you again how Red White doesn't look completely like he is supposed to be?
Oh, you're talking about that? Okay.
No, not even in appearance, even in personality.
Being the kind of guy who valorizes emotional investment over logical flawlessness any day, to me, that the whole covering up plot holes is not enough, honestly.
Although honestly, Pedro,
that would be ideal, but.
Although, honestly, Paige, you can't really be surprised at them telling, you can't really tell them to let it go when, you kind of have the thing about this movie, too.
No. I don't hate this movie. I'm mostly indifferent to it, but
What are you doing, Larry?
Larry,
I
what
ca-
are you doing?
it's not.
Base.
Most of the times, I just ignore this movie. I don't really go out of my way to bad mouth it or something.
Well, that's sort of the
think
case
it's-
with
I
the ending
think
of the
it's pretty
second case.
harmless.
Yeah, but so far I'm not really getting Ace Attorney out of all this. I mean, aside from the characters, well, most of the characters' looks, all I'm getting is just generic court movie with dashes of Ace Attorney.
So basically, what you're saying is that you agree with me that this movie copies the look but not the soul.
Yeah, from so far what I'm seeing so far. Seriously, why is everyone act? Why do half the characters act like they're stoned?
Stone.
Yeah.
Not guilt. All right, that's cool. See, there you go. See, that's the whole thing. Do the whole movie over the top like this.
They kind of do during the courtroom sessions, though.
Yeah, what about everywhere else?
What do you
So
mean?
wait, case 2 is already over and the rest of the movie is case 4?
Not
Yes.
quite, actually.
Yeah.
Let's just say, like I said, Case 2 and Case 4 are connected in this movie really
True,
heavily.
but it's still 1 hour and...
Maya, you're free. You might want to let in a smile or something.
Well, her
No.
sister is dead.
Yeah,
who are
that's the
these
one
people?
thing.
Her sister is dead, and
I was
will...
going to say that's the one thing that bothered me about the game
I'm
is
not-
that Maya is only upset about her sister, like the person she was closest with more than anyone else in the world. She wasn't
What's
upset.
the
She
Blue
was.
Badger doing back there?
Oh yeah,
Killed.
they actually brought something in from Case 5.
Because I want to do.
But yeah, it really bothered me that Maya was upset for such a short time.
And that sort of has to do with how this case ends. Basically, the case ends with Red White not getting caught for the murder just yet, but for him being caught for perjury and going to jail for it. And let's just say Maya kind of feels mad with him not being put behind bars yet. Again, that's something that's going to be resolved later.
Ace
Sure,
Attorney,
alright.
everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
actually,
Well,
Ace,
to
actually,
be
Ace
fair-
Attorney has had a lot of
No,
moments
that's
like
kind of
this.
with Maya's character, if I have to say, but...
That's fine. No,
Yeah.
I don't mind this. I don't mind this one actually.
That's sort of why Maya's a bit of a downer for a bit, because the guy who killed her sister is still technically not
Larry, what are you doing?
in jail for her sister's
Eh.
murder yet.
But why though? Why couldn't we just have Red White get arrested now, and then we do a little bit of a time skip, like a couple days later, and then we have good old cheerful Maya.
It sort of has to do with how Takashi Miike tries to...
It's plot relevant.
Yes. Basically, the way that Takashi Miike manages to adapt these so that they're sort of a coherent story is by merging cases 2 and 4 into sort of a turnabout of her own together, in a method of speaking. That's sort of why Red White hasn't been, sort of gotten his comeuppance for Mia's murder just yet. He will later, but again, this is sort of used as a means to combine the two into a story so that you wouldn't have to, feel like one's rushed over the other.
So I guess the ends justify the means, eh, Jova?
Yep.
To me, I mean.
Oh,
it's,
and here we
what-
go now, DL6.
DL6.
A name
Yeah.
to be remembered. Basically, DL6 is kind of the reason for the whole original trilogy.
Yeah.
As for the main franchise in itself, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that too, yeah.
Also, about the game, the movie.
So wait.
is-
They made
yeah,
Hold on.
Wrong.
Hold on, what is it, Shiroi?
Oh no, wait, because he's talking about something that's happening now. So go ahead, Deji.
They made 3 games based on one case.
No, Deji, you have to see. Basically, DL6 is a case that it's an
the
event,
catalyst.
a past event that, due to being basically having to deal with a lot of people on its own, it set in motion events that regarded basically a lot of characters in the franchise itself. It caused a chain reaction. Think of it like a domino effect.
So basically, Phoenix and Maya are going to try and find some evidence to try and, indict Red White for the official murder of Mia.
Anyway, what I was going to say is about them rushing the first few cases for this movie. Why didn't they just base the movie off of the final case, Rise from the Ashes, much like the musical did?
I kind of wish they had, yeah, but...
Yeah, that would actually be a much better thing, because see, one of the main reasons why this
musical.
I'll bring up the first game, since this is of course the game that this is based on. The reason that game worked so well is because of the amount of time that we spend with the characters, like, you know, all the tons of dialogue it has. You know, the game was slow paced, but that was the whole point. You know, the slow pace allowed Shu Takumi to build up character and atmosphere, and you know, we really got to know the characters over the course of the you know, the 20 or so hours that the game takes to complete.
Especially with Rise of the Ashes. I mean, heck, that
To
man...
me,
Go on.
yeah. To me, adapting a 20-hour story into a 2-hour movie, you just have to cut off too much for me to because you have to eliminate so much of the slow character development that in the game that the game has to me. So honestly, I don't really see this as a. It's just honestly adapting an entire Ace Attorney game into a movie. To me, I cannot see how it could possibly work. Maybe someone could ever prove me wrong, but definitely this movie doesn't prove me wrong.
Not counting Rise from the Ashes. I know it was added, but still. Trying for a second to make an adaptation of the original game, it's a 2-hour movie. Okay, fine. Make maybe the first 15 minutes, and then separates into equal parts each subsequent case. You know, and work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead,
allow me to bring. Actually, I have a good argument, but I'll show it after Tails.
We have for the first 10 minutes a succession of sequences in rapid succession that kind of confuses the viewer. Then 10 minutes dedicated to case 2, which could have been used better, and the rest of it is for case 4 pretty much, and some bits of case 3, I guess.
Well,
was that Lotta Hart? No, that wasn't Lotta.
No. Lotta Hart.
She was the girl of the couple that witnessed Gordy.
Lotta comes later.
Anyway, basically, whether or not you feel that this movie adapts the games well enough is completely up to you. I personally think that it does work, but I will admit it is a bit weird. I can get why they would have sliced off Case 3 because Case 3 was the official filler case of that. And admittedly, we still do get the same characterization elements and improvements of Medgeworth that we do get in Case 3, just adapted in that they fit into Case 4. I won't say that they had to do it this way, but I will say that it was.
Still don't too much.
I will say though it was kind of
that mascot character.
Yes, that mascot character. I will say.
Is there a reason?
Basically, that's a nod to the fans of the game. Basically.
Yeah. All you need to know, Deji, is that that's the police mascot.
Where's the guard at the door? The one who always looks like he's falling asleep.
True.
Wait, who did Miles? Who did Miles kill?
We'll find out later.
Apparently killed.
We don't know yet. At least as the story was.
What are you gonna say, Pedro?
Actually, okay. You know, Teo and Shiroi.
Yes.
I'm gonna say, since you guys also saw it, I would like you also, either disagree or agree with me. What I'm about to say. I just thought of something.
You're not going to compare this to the Layden movie again, are you?
Actually, no.
Really?
But come on, Jova. Give me some credit. Anyway.
He doesn't constantly talk about the Layton movie, Jova.
True.
Anyway.
Go ahead, Pedro.
Well, I guess. Go on.
Teo, remember how the second Yokai Watch movie had 5 stories?
Yeah.
And you were just talking about how they could do, the first 15 minutes would be the structure of that movie could work in an Ace Attorney movie.
I think the difference between the Yokai Watch
is completely off in this movie.
Wait, I was gonna say I think the difference between the Yokai Watch 2 movie and Ace Attorney is that the Yokai Watch movie is an original plot, whereas this is an adaptation.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the first movie is an adaptation of the second game's plot.
But you were
I
talking
said
about
the second movie.
Okay, the second movie is original, yes.
Yeah. So I think that's why it had a benefit. It had it in its favor, so they didn't have to sacrifice plot details that the Ace Attorney movie has done.
You know what I think they could have done?
What?
Take the characters and the tone, but make an entirely new case and put that in the movie, not just try and adapt stuff.
So like Eternal Diva.
And apparently Assassin's Creed movie.
Well, sorry, Java, it wasn't me who did it. It was
and also apparently that's what the Assassin's Creed movie's gonna do.
And it's
But it was
with the difference being that that movie is actually in canon with the series itself.
And admittedly, the stage play did it. Albeit, though, their goal here was to get people to play the game, and in that regard, do an adaptation off of it.
Okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna download the movie because YouTube keeps fucking me over. I'll just download the movie. You guys keep watching.
So let me get this straight. Shiroi's internet gets better, and then Paige's YouTube all of a sudden... Huh.
It's not my internet because everything else works fine.
Okay,
it's just,
okay, your
for some
YouTube.
reason this... It's just
guys, let's try and keep this kind of stuff behind the scenes if we can.
Anyway,
Sure,
yeah. You know, I guess we
Maya,
should...
what are you wearing?
A fur coat. Anyway, I guess we should probably start trying to talk more about the movie itself, since Deji
Okay,
is the newest
I can
one here.
accept Phoenix wearing his trench coat because he will be silly going around everywhere with his tracksuit. But Maya wearing a fur coat? Come on.
Eh?
But the entire point of her character is the fact that she has a silly hippie clothes. Why do you make her look like she's a prostitute?
What?
Now Maya's
It's Pedro's reaction is why I'm laughing.
Hi,
I don't-
hi, Lana.
Maya, I love Maya. Maya is one of my favorite Ace Attorney characters, and I don't like the way she's characterized in this movie at all.
But she just
sorry.
did something Maya-ish there.
I
That's
know,
not fair.
but...
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I have seen a lot of animes and media that uses characters with the Kansai accent. I can tell this actress is not using it.
Let's
Gordy.
First an ace.
Cheese.
Whatever cheese is in Japan.
I don't know.
Cheese.
Yeah, Poe.
Gara Po.
Interesting. That'll come in handy later. Also, I love how her afro is even bigger than it was in the original game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Of all the characters, they got accurate. Well, what other?
Let's see, they got Phoenix accurate, they got
Also,
Lana.
they made her a full hippie about her. She looks like she came from Woodstock.
Woodstock.
All of the,
That
so of all the
sounds
characters,
familiar.
they get the most accurate. One of them is freaking Lot of Hearts.
Well, of course they were gonna get Lana Hart, right? She's one of the fan favorite characters.
True,
Really?
yeah.
Yes. Dude, Dwibs. She's been mentioned or appeared in pretty much every DS game.
So she's even in Trials and Tribulation, from what I can guess.
She gets referenced. I don't recall if she appears, but she does definitely appear in both investigation games.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that actually.
Yamazaki especially loves her.
Remember, I haven't played that game yet, so I don't know.
It's okay, it's okay. Oh, trust me, you're in for a wonderful ride with Trials and Tribulations.
I'm on the side of justice.
Thank you, Apollo.
So,
Well, could you imagine if they made an Apollo Justice Ace Attorney movie?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Pay attention, guys, because eventually, at some point in this movie, they actually play a track from Apollo Justice.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't played Apollo Justice, so I wouldn't recognize it.
Hmm.
But it'll
Me
probably be
neither.
the most Ace Attorney sounding track in this movie, so it shouldn't be too hard to find.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
we did have Phoenix's objection theme earlier here, which
Yeah.
did sound rather lit.
I actually heard it before.
Sure.
And again, it's sad when Apollo Justice is
My Phoenix, my attorney senses are tingling.
Oh yeah.
Also, yeah, I appreciate whoever subtitled it, appreciate that they use the English names.
Like in the fucking anime.
Actually,
Well, okay. To be fair, I
in the
think
Crunchyroll
Crunchyroll
version-
they did.
they did
some.
use the English character names.
Mm-hmm.
There are two sub versions though, aren't
Yeah,
there?
one for the Japanese names and one where they put in English names.
I'm waiting really to see how Funimation is going to handle the dub.
I'm just glad it's Funimation of all
They'll
people.
probably keep the names from the games.
I'm a big fan of Funimation's work in Dragon Ball. So I'm really hopeful for a great
Yeah.
English
Hey
dub.
guys.
I like the
They're
dubs.
doing the Ace Attorney anime?
Yep, for dubbing. Hey guys, imagine what if 4Kids were still around and they did the localization for these?
No, thank you.
No.
Hey,
Okay.
No.
hey, wait. To be fair, they did Pokemon good.
And they did Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wow.
For the most part good.
Most
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Later
Let's-
season.
Jova,
Later season.
plot twist. Sam Riegel's Phoenix voice mutates into I forgot the name of a character.
Tristan.
Tristan's voice.
I mean, for God's sake,
Objection!
4Kids is the same that the jelly donut rice ball thing, whereas here they have the udon to burgers, so it'll work perfectly.
Well,
Not for nothing, Deji, but you're forgetting about the band episodes.
Well, the band episodes were controversial on their own right. Like,
oh yeah. Okay.
this old man who tells Misty in a bikini saying, "You remind me of my granddaughter." What the?
Okay,
Anyway,
okay, I understand that, but
anyway,
what about the Dratini episode? Then?
let's get up back.
Yeah,
up.
we'll get that.
Let's get back on track. Anyway, a bit of a fun fact about this. This is actually based off of Shu Takumi's own backstory. I mean, his actual life, and something like this kind of happened to him. He actually gave a tidbit about how when he told everyone on the staff of the anime, they all cried at his sad story, and he was touched by it.
Alright, could you guys give me a time, please?
Go to 49:30.
Alright, I'm there.
But this isn't
Alright.
a court, little Edgeworth.
Yes, Sephiroth.
Alright.
Alright, almost there, Pedro.
Aw.
That is cute.
Joe,
They're all adorable.
and click.
Click.
You believed in me back
Yeah.
then.
The flashback scenes are some of the few scenes that I actually really like. They actually got these scenes right.
And also, can I just say, like, present time Edgeworth in this movie looks just as young as little Edgeworth.
Aww.
Edgeworth all against Shiori. The Japanese have a knack for aging well.
Yeah.
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 So I guess Tom Cruise got some of that secret youth potion.
I guess
Yeah,
they're-
he did it when he made The Last Samurai.
I guess their food has some kind of superpower. I don't know.
And again, it seems like this would
Well,
actually...
they have one of the top diets in the world, so.
Yeah. I do like how this story can actually settle down to properly help tell the tale of their backstory. And again, this goes to show when they do actually start getting to the character development, they do it pretty good.
Did the movie suddenly change into a fucking webcam? I mean,
Are you surprised
I
by
mean,
the fact that it's...
He reminds me of a Saw movie.
Hello, Phoenix.
okay. Okay, never mind. They turned down the lights again. I don't. What the fuck was that?
Phoenix is passing again.
I
know.
said to him, he kind of lives a game.
Don't you
so-
see, Tio? Phoenix is actually reading Edgeworth's mind and literally seeing what happened through his eyes.
It's symbolic.
Hey, Robert Hammond! We actually have a lawyer over in the USA called Robert Hammond.
Then that means he's fucked then.
Only by December.
Considering how so many Ace Attorney events have been proven real, are you sure these guys isn't, concerning about his safety?
Yeah, who knows? We'll know by December. Yeah.
I'm going to get into this boat in the middle of a lake with this guy who I don't have any trust with, because that sounds like a good idea.
To be fair, it's about Robert Hammond, and we do later find out why he would have come to see him.
Well, I get why he came to see him, but why would he willingly go with him on a boat into the middle of the lake where no one can help him if something goes wrong?
Because it's Edgeworth, and he kind of has guilt issues.
And he's also a very proud
Also
person.
needs music.
That too.
And just like in the
So
game,
what
like an
exactly
idiot,
happened
he
that
grabs the gun.
To be like you yourself said, Teo, that's a common thing. So
That's
I
one thing
guess.
I hate though. It's so stupid on the character's part. They handle the murder weapon and
To
put
be
their
fair-
fingerprints all over it.
Okay,
Did
what
he-
would you do if you were there? Your initial reaction.
I'm honestly going
Yeah.
to tell me this, that you would be able to think completely and 100% calmly and rationally in this situation.
I wouldn't handle the murder weapon.
Dwibs.
I don't believe you.
There are so many ways that could go wrong. Like, imagine, what if you had to fight off somebody who had a murder weapon, and you managed to smack it off them? Now, would your first thought be to just throw the murder weapon away and let the murderer try and get to you, or try and use the murder weapon to defend yourself?
Shoot them in the legs. That way they don't die and you're clear.
Precisely, as in...
And then stomp on their legs.
Speaking of shooting people in the legs, you should tell that to like half of movies. That
Oh my
say,
God,
don't kill
Karma
this
is not an
person."
asshole.
Shoot the legs.
And there you go. That's why. That's another thing I don't like. Von Karma is my favorite
Hold on,
prosecutor
guys.
in the series, and it didn't even get him right.
Oh, hold on. Try opening theme.
Or are they building up to him being an asshole?
They actually are. In fact,
That's better.
yeah.
But that's the thing, Jova. I like it much better when he's an asshole from the beginning.
I'm sorry, Pedro, but that's kind of a thing some people like about this movie cycle. They kind of ease more into Man for Von Karma being an a-hole because, well, don't get me wrong, he was marvelous in the games, but sometimes it's best when you keep it subtle and then get them into being bad.
I don't see how. He's the villain. There's no need to try to make him sympathetic.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. While he does maybe turn out to be it, you don't know it until way later.
Eh.
But the thing is, some people out there are constant a-holes, so I'm fine with it.
Anyway, testimony time.
Bang. 2 men enter on a boat, only 1 leaves.
By the way, Teo,
Interesting.
I messaged you in case you haven't seen it.
Oh, sorry. Again, Discord does jack shit.
What do you mean?
Second.
Oh, you mean
You
with
have
notifying?
to. It's on your settings.
Yeah.
Like, look at your users. settings.
that face Phoenix made.
Alright, done. I'm sorry.
Come on, Phoenix.
Damn it. Seriously, that face
That's
looks
okay.
like
That's okay. Don't worry.
Phoenix's face. When Phoenix
Oh wait,
does
I
that-
love this part. When you say it was a little
Phoenix
after
does that
midnight on
face.
Christmas Eve,
When Phoenix
if
does
we
that
were to
face,
be
you
more
know-
exact, it'd be hold on, Dwibs, hold on, Dwibs.
Hold on,
Christmas!
Dwibs. Let Jova finish.
What the hell?
And-
Everyone did a face fault because he kind of just objected to it not being Christmas yet.
That's a naked gun joke. That's a weird reference to making a Japanese movie.
Anyway, I was just gonna say, when Phoenix does that face, it kind of looks like to me like the actor forgot his lines.
Well, Teo, if there's one thing you've learned recently, especially specifically with me, is that the Japanese recently have been getting really good with Western culture references.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, English in and of itself just goes to show.
I mean, hell, Japan was apparently really big on stuff like Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet back then, which only leads me to question why they butchered Captain Scarlet's opening, but whatever.
We
Okay.
mentioned these in terms of popular culture. We mentioned these books fairly recently, like of commentary. The
See,
Japanese are very fond of the Beatrix Potter books.
Yeah. They're also very fond of the Canadian books of Anne and the Green Gables, which is why the anime adaptation is one of the best animes ever made.
Oh crap.
So yeah, contempt of court like in the original game.
See, for me, it's like this. The big appeal of Von Karma in the game to me is the fact that he's this, always stoic and, scary looking, and he's always, this.
Pedro.
What?
Congratulations, you just set yourself up.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Remember when I was complaining about Civil War with the villain, how it's not represented?
That's
And you weren't
how
offended yet?
about we bring that up later when we're done commentating?
Nope.
Deji, none of I haven't seen
fair.
Civil War yet, so
Me neither.
Oh.
What the hell?
basically Maya's bringing up the fact about the
No,
gun.
no, actually, yeah, that's actually what happened in the original game too. They didn't.
That's another thing about this game. See, instead of Maya possibly threatening Phoenix's position, she gets up from the court gallery audience and brings up it, which gives Phoenix a chance, albeit Maya's still gonna get put in contempt.
Yeah, they completely removed the aspect of Maya being Phoenix's assistant.
Admittedly, they haven't built up their sense of trust just yet over the course of the movie.
That's true, yeah.
Again, it would kind of be off if, all of a sudden they just trusted each other out of the blue, especially how...
Yeah,
the second
sure.
case in Soviets.
If I'm allowed to finish on the, however, the reason Von Karma is my favorite prosecutor in the series is because with Blackwell being a close second. Well, actually, no, Edgeworth is close second, and then Blackwell is the third. But whatever. I love Von Karma because, like, I love the idea of like a big, threatening, and incredibly intimidating prosecutor who has this really deep voice and shit. And basically the way he's characterized in the first game. Like, and honestly, this interpretation of Von Karma to me is not that interesting. Honestly.
I kind of find him interesting, but admittedly, it's kind of because I like how there's different layers to him, and we do eventually get his game persona, which is freaking awesome when we finally do, but that's for later.
Why do they save it till later, though, then? I mean, if it's later, then all of a sudden becoming like his game counterpart just comes out of nowhere.
Because they ease into it, Dwibs, and, the film does eventually earn it. That's why it doesn't feel completely off.
It's like the opposite of the Fat Slags movie, where the actor in character, but only in like the first minute of a 75-minute movie.
Oh well, good to know it's the opposite of Fat Slags.
I was gonna say, I think it's more appealing when you're gradually building up to who the villain is, instead of just, oh, this guy is an asshole. He's clearly the bad guy.
Exactly. I couldn't have put the words right out of my mouth.
But the game did. But the game did do that. But the game did do that. Before Von Karma shows up on screen, they have constantly Edgeworth talk about how he's such a fearing prosecutor and how he's the prosecutor that everything is.
Pedro, as soon as he shows up on screen, though.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, though, it's kind of as soon as he shows up on screen, though. I mean, again, this movie manages to sort of run with it. Still have him be intimidating.
Honestly, I don't think honestly, here's the thing. Shitakumi never intended Von Karma's evilness to be subtle anyway.
Then again, his name is Von Karma. With a name like that, I think it's a red flag.
I think. Remember, Deji, though, the game for like the Japanese names. These subtitles only just for the benefit of the English-speaking crowd.
Oh, guys. You want to know how unsubtle some of the names get? You see, I'm not going to spoil who it is, but there's a certain villain in a Japanese version of an Ace Attorney game whose name is literally Carnage on Red.
So he's Cletus Cassidy?
Is he Mexican?
No. You'll see which one I'm talking about. I hope Pedro knows which one I'm talking about.
Sorry, Joe, I was kind of... I was trying to pay attention to the movie, so I kind of... Just text me.
Yeah, I'll text you. That one.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree.
What are you doing there?
She was in contempt of court, so she had to be out of the courtroom.
Yeah, but
why is she in...
Wait.
You're not in university. Come on.
Wait. Can people? Well, actually,
one at a time. Go first, Pedro.
What the hell is that?
Oh, they are flasks. Okay.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, it's like we've even seen the judge even threatened to do that at certain points in the games. The judge can ask the people in attendance to leave the courtroom if they're being too noisy or something.
Yeah. Oh, hello! It's a French flag.
Sorry.
There's a voice in my head, and it's French, the exact opposite of American.
Squid.
Wood.
Don't
Squid. Is that an inkling?
Yes.
It's an inkling.
It's Squidward.
So I guess Gold Lake was the last place where they did Splatfest.
I guess.
I wonder what it is.
Also, I don't know if it's the ground they're on, but I thought Maya was meant to be shorter than Phoenix. It's not the same height there.
She's wearing high flip-flops, which she usually does.
Again, high heels, a fur coat.
She's not wearing high heels, high flip-flops.
Well, still.
Oh yeah, that mysterious witness we mentioned.
Okay, so that's the shack then.
Of Yami Yogi. Because that is the place I will look to go to rent a boat. It looks like the Bog of Despair from
this
the
place,
first...
this place looks like a post-apocalyptic setting.
Story.
Wow.
I'll say it again. Are we in a horror movie?
Well, Pedro, quickly I realized in the first game that the series takes place pretty much in a dystopic universe.
Mad Max, directed by Takashi Miike.
I think it's pronounced Takeshi Mike, but whatever. I was checking his filmography. You said he made a fighting game-based movie, because the only thing I see is made an adaptation of a Yakuza game.
I think that was it, yeah.
It's not a fighting game.
I get
But
the
moving
feeling.
on.
I get the feeling he's probably much better at it. I get the feeling his Yakuza movie is probably much better because of from what I'm seeing here, it seems like he would be a good fit for Yakuza.
Yeah.
She's smiling.
Well, again, my addition were mannerisms here and there.
She's still not quite the Maya we know and love.
Again, Shiroi, haven't gotten vengeance on Red White yet. Oh, crap. Ooh, that's quite a bruise.
Like I said, I'll give credit. Larry, they did get right, definitely.
Again, they got Larry, they got Phoenix, they got
Lotta.
they got Lotta.
Phoenix is fine, but I think it could be a bit better.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And up he goes, dust in the wind.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Nessie? Oh god, no. So Nessie came all the way from the UK to Japan after their Brexit happened, saying, "Screw this, I'm out of here."
It's America, Jova.
In America.
No. No, Pedro. Nessie came from the UK.
No, I know. What I mean is that, remember, Jova, but according to the localization, this is not Japan, it's America. There's not rice cakes, there's burgers.
Honestly, Pedro, I think Nessie wants to avoid America.
Is there any way even that Nessie could even live in America?
Well, honestly, it's so uncertain. Honestly, Shiroi, it's so uncertain in America at the moment. Maybe Nessie just wants to take advantage of the chaos.
What's with the laughing?
Holy shit.
Why, it's just a puppet.
Aha!
Dun dun dun!
Pull the string! Pull the string!
I told you.
What
man.
the fuck?
What the hell?
Okay, now we're in a
I
BDSM
don't get
movie.
Oh god, Franziska! That's your cue!
She's not in this movie.
That's
I don't
right.
think.
Anyway,
That's in the next game.
what time are you guys at?
1 hour, 5
5
minutes,
40.
and 40 seconds, 41, 42.
Yep,
etc.
me too.
1 hour what now?
5 minutes, 45 seconds, 46.
5 meters per second.
Okay. I'm at 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 48 seconds.
We're
No,
already
we're
at-
way ahead of
way past school.
Okay,
Go to
1
6
hour-
minutes and 30.
Alright.
Wait, they just brought Yanni Yogi in court without...
Is that AZ from
I'm
Pokemon
there
X
now.
and Y?
I'm there at 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 30.
Alright, we'll count you in.
Good thing I downloaded the movie.
AZ, is he from X and Y? Oh no, the black and white,
Yes.
sorry.
X and Y, actually.
Okay.
Alright, Joe, get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And click.
Click.
You know, Joe,
I haven't played enough of X and Y to really know much. I've heard the soundtrack, but not much
Hey,
of the
Joe.
game.
You know, Joe, in terms of Shiroi being fine with internet and YouTube giving us trouble, you might say it's karma.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
guess you could say it's Vaughn Karma.
Well,
Yeah, Pedro's
well-
version was better.
well,
Also, the
guys-
both of you go for
Okay,
okay, settle down.
Okay,
Let's settle
you
down.
four go in the corner.
Yeah.
Actually, that includes you, Jova.
Objection, Tio. I didn't make any puns. That was just
Yeah,
Tio
but
and
you were the
Deji.
victim, so you're technically included.
I'm
Twins.
sure.
That's not how it works.
Okay. In that
Okay,
case,
calm down, guys, calm down.
In
Let's
that case,
try to
Shiroi,
focus.
you be my defense attorney.
I just want to say, like, if it hasn't been brought up already, since I've had to pop away and stuff, but Von Karma's outfit is very plain.
That's sort of the idea he was pointing in the original. It was sort of to show that the usual form of prosecution was cruel,
No, I mean,
heartless.
he seemed more regal in the original game.
Oh, you mean with the ascot?
It looked like here. It looked like he was in a rush to get it on. Like, oh shit! I'm like, oh sorry, no, sorry. Common voice. Oh no, I'm late for work. I must get ready quickly.
Oh crap! It was probably really foggy that
Honestly,
night.
I can see Von Karma being a bit of a poser.
That strange guy. Dang it, Edgeworth and your fluttering cravat.
Did this thing
Doesn't
get
it
a
have like a
sequel?
triple cravat?
Edgeworth, you're not the prosecutor.
Like I remember one of the early the motivational posters where Maya said Roddy wears a triple cravat. Your argument is
That
invalid.
line was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's like I said, especially in court, this movie does have a lot of good moments to legitimize it. I will admit something's... Oh, hey, what do you know? Phoenix is actually pointing out suspicious looks.
Quite suspicious.
Robber.
That's right, that's most unorthodox.
Yes, Phoenix, where's your evidence to prove that? Admittedly, if we just arrested people on looking suspicious, we...
Alright, here comes the bluff, I guess.
Oh, wait. Mia? Any help, Mia?
Remember, this is a case where Maya goes on about how useless she is.
Actually, Dwid, she doesn't do that in the movie.
Well, that's one improvement at least.
So basically, she's mopey when she's supposed to be happy, and she's happy when she's supposed to be mopey.
Actually, she hasn't really been outright mopey that much. She's kind of just been indifferent a lot.
Just to be clear, Phoenix is defending Miles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, how the tables have
Guilty.
turned.
That's the irony of the game.
Yep.
Oh no, guys, they changed the ending. Edgeworth is guilty now.
Oh, I forgot, yeah, Larry.
Oh.
What? Why is he dressed like that?
It's Larry.
I guess, but
Living like Larry.
Well, Larry's my favorite character in this movie, so sure, more of him, please.
Gunshots. Your
Honestly,
Honor!
also, by the way, the actor playing Edgeworth, honestly, to me, he comes across as one. It's like they got, it's like they got the Justin Timberlake of Japan to play Edgeworth. I mean, he looks like a fucking.
so you're telling me they kinda is an idol that they use like when they use Gag to play Genesis.
Sure.
Oh, hi,
I
cross-examination.
didn't know Gak did any acting.
He did one of the main characters of Final Fantasy VII spinoff.
You'll see him in both Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus.
Okay.
Wait, did he just do the song for that though?
Post credit.
Ah, okay then.
Well, sometimes the condition for idols being in movies and stuff is that they play the theme songs as well.
Wait,
Yeah.
this movie still we're only halfway done with this movie?
Well, of course, Digi, we can't rush through the main story after all. I mean, that's something you don't do for an Ace Attorney adaptation of any sort. It's like, well, you do not...
I don't know, the anime kind of did that.
That's one of the
badly.
reasons why the anime isn't that well liked now.
Well, no, Jova. The one reason why the anime is well liked because it takes too
I
much
said-
freedom with its stuff.
I said not well liked, but yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And one of
Honestly,
the
I would argue the same for this, but whatever.
Well, Pedro, again.
What the
Whoa.
fuck? Okay, no, I remember that he was searching for the balloon, but why did he use the metal detector?
Basically because the tank was still connected to the balloon.
Plot twist, the murder victim was secretly a cyborg.
Mhm.
And honestly, as I said before, I said in text before we started the commentary, in terms of not exactly being good movies, but in terms of being accurate to the video game it's based on, I think the first Tomb Raider movie is more accurate than this.
I agree.
You're-
Wow, really?
I
Yeah.
disagree, but then again, tomato.
I mean, yeah, but when I said that, Joe, I don't mean in terms of whether a movie's good or not.
I
It's
know,
meant to
I
bring
know,
people to its game.
I know, and like I said, I disagree. Tomato, tomato.
In the games, you raid tombs, Lorax, Sassy.
Poor Larry, passing the Christmas
And
Eve on
in
his own
here, you
listening
still have
radio.
trials. Phoenix occasionally snarks, acts nervous.
Yeah, but half the characters don't even act like themselves.
Actually, they do act like themselves, they just don't always show their elements, as is the same with Lara Croft in comparison to her game model in the
Wait,
movie.
he said 30 minutes till Christmas Eve.
Oh, snap, that's right! Larry! What you
Plus, the
just
Tomb
said.
Raider movie
Are you
does
certain of it?
Does how I feel the video game movie should do stuff. Well, good at least.
Exactly,
It's
Dwibs.
original-
It adheres to how you...
Ah, I paid attention to the case. I solved it. It's like I'm playing the actual game.
There you
making
go,
original-
Desi.
It's making original plots, but just have.
You
yeah,
get a
still have
gold
the
star,
series-
Digi.
Have the series essence there, but just make it an original story. It feels like it, at least.
Well, again, Dwibs, that's your personal preference, so, again, I'll just agree to disagree.
It's better than the second movie.
Okay, we can all agree on that. And also, I love how Digi said it's like he's playing the game. That's exactly how I felt when I watched this movie.
12:25 at 15 minutes past midnight.
It's Christmas.
So
Objection!
Merry Christmas.
Waves up.
Oh, no. I'm one of those people. Come December 1st, I'm breaking out the Christmas
Whoa.
jumpers.
Oh, snap! He just stopped to take that.
Stop.
You don't just stop my evidence, good sir.
Okay.
Only you knew the power of the dark side of the Force, Phoenix.
Why does this photograph exist in the first place?
Did the movie just reverse the whole bullet argument from Von Karma of the game?
No. Basically, Phoenix is questioning why another photograph would... Okay, it is a reversal, but it's one that's logical.
Oh no, I forgot this was actually in the game. Whoa!
Ah!
Jesus.
The situation has already changed.
Oh my god, the judge is actually showing some interest.
It's like I said, the game starts off darker, but then little by little it gets to being the good old
Honestly,
Christmas.
it looks like it, considering everything, it's almost as if the movie starts while it's asleep and he's slowly waking up.
Precisely.
That's my problem exactly. Why couldn't it be awake from the beginning?
Again, it's sort of to show a bit of a darker tone and basically showing how Phoenix is cleaning up the justice world.
Well, that's what he does in the game as well.
Admittedly, I think from what I hear, they originally did want to have it be a bit darker, but because of the limitations of the Game Boy, they couldn't really have all the different shades and whatnot. December 25th.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Boy, I wonder how many
Ho, ho,
Christmases
ho,
actually go like that.
That'd be like if you. It'd be like if you made a. It'd be like if Judge Dredd did Christmas or something. Merry Christmas.
But I don't
Was there
know his name.
was there ever anything Christmas related to Deadpool?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's here we go.
What the hell is that?
The parrot is actually a Kakatua variant.
Did this parrot have any build-up?
Yes, actually it did,
Not
surprisingly.
for the movie, I had to say. But why is the public of this particular curve full of idols and whatever? But yeah, Shiroi, to answer your question, Marvel has a kind of a soft spot to do weird shit parodies for its characters around Christmas. There's an issue where Doctor Doom actually replaces Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Now you've got me imagining Toby Kebbell as Santa Claus.
Okay.
Also, in regards to the parrot in this movie, it gets pretty much the same amount of screen time and development counterpart
Not really,
to the
Joe.
game.
We skipped altogether the part where Phoenix and Maya encounter Yanni Yogi.
Oh, we're not bringing the parrot to court yet, if that's what you're wondering.
Wait, what? And when? How do we interrogate it?
That was a flashback, actually. What we just saw.
Okay, court dismissed. So this is day 3 of investigation now?
Not quite. We're still in day 2, right after.
There.
Basically.
He locked the parrot in a locker. That's
Also,
fucking...
that bird looks awful.
It's a cockatoo.
Yeah,
It
it's a
looks like-
cockatoo on
I
Weebs.
know, but it looks CG.
And it's an
no,
actual bird
real,
there.
Weebs.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a real parrot.
Dweebs, what's your
Dweeb.
vision?
No, Jova, let me handle this. Weebs, I know that the UK does not rule over the world anymore, but you should know the species of animal that are around it.
Yeah.
Well, again, Tio, well, to me, a bird's a bird, a dog's a dog, a cat's a cat, etc., etc.
Well, crap.
No more parrots, I guess.
Nobody's around.
And he even fought to take the parrot with him this time.
Actually, that's bird shit. Literally. Guano.
Now, are you talking about what you saw on the floor or the movie?
No, two things. Maya says, "Oh, I smell something sweet," but then the camera pans over the shit.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I almost forgot my Yorkie bar.
Good. So is that like how you calm down, like eating a Yorkie bar?
No. I just I like Yorkie bars, but there's a common thing here in the UK
Oh, shit.
where Yorkie bars are not for girls. So sorry,
Wait,
Shiro.
they get tasered in Yanni's house?
I eat them anyway because I defy you.
But Shiro, that's against the rules.
It's against the packaging.
Well, crap.
Sorry, there's like the cat from that. It's a talking cat. A movie will tell you it's the rules.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Red White, who killed Mia.
Don't you mean black
He was
white?
instructed by somebody
wait.
else to wiretap the firm. Probably by the same person
Jova.
related to
Wait,
this dark secret.
Jova, we've been through this. You don't need to do the voice acting.
Why was
Everyone
Phoenix
occasionally
lying on
reads a bit.
Why
in
was
this
Phoenix
secret,
lying
really.
on the ground?
He's kind of
Let's
distraught that
see.
his evidence been stolen. Basically, turns out Red White was sort of in cahoots with someone who may have been connected to the incident.
You guys can't hear my rapper, right?
I
Was
actually
written,
did.
drink your Ovaltine.
Of course you'd hear it, Jova. You've got the most acute hearing out of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I love how we all have a certain strength. Jova has the best hearing. What else did you guys say you have?
You're
Dreams,
got,
you just don't bring, Dreams, you just don't bring up an argument without actual concrete examples to it.
But it's not an argument. He was trying to. No, it's worse. He was trying to compliment each of us, and he could only find one for Jova.
No, I got it. Pedro's the most experienced. Shiro is the most
wait. In what, though?
in his knowledge and stuff.
My knowledge of what exactly?
You know, and the way you yeah.
God
Pedro's the
dang it,
best at
Dweebs, you
designing
turned this into an
things.
Ace Attorney game of me having to press you every time.
Okay.
Well, it depends. It depends, Dweebs. Like if you, in terms of knowledge of Portugal, I guess I'm definitely the better here, but I'm kind of biased in that regard.
Okay. As for she was the most happy.
Yeah, I guess.
And I guess I'm just the most positive and optimistic then.
Tio
No, that's me.
You?
Tio is the
Go on.
Tio's the Batman of us. He's the badass normal.
Dweebs, are you sure you don't want to abort your joke?
Again.
No, I got it. No, I'm actually trying to legit compliment you guys.
Yeah.
Tio's the sharpest.
No, the only compliment that you can give me, I guess, it's Master of Nothingness, because I know only things that are not really useful to the situation at hand.
Oh
That's
God,
not-
Tio,
Yeah,
Tio, do you know what that means? By TV tropes standards, that means if there were a video game based off of us, you'd be the Mario.
Mamma mia!
And
Basically-
I can't.
What the hell?
Yeah.
How's that 6-spin move?
I can't
It's
compliment
okay.
myself because I am the
Bias.
I'm biased.
Oh, snap.
What do you guys say about me?
You are definitely
The
the
movie goer,
most.
yeah. So no. Wait. So
Wait.
okay.
Don't I get a compliment though?
I did.
What was mine? I forgot.
You're the most thoughtful and intelligent.
Oh,
Eh?
I would. Of all the things that I would use to describe myself, I would never use those two words. But sure.
Wait, Jova question, because he's inherent into the movie. Why did they replace the elevator scene as if they were in a station locker room?
I haven't been hanging around. I haven't
Basically-
been around Deji as much as you guys, so I can't
Ba-
really say at the moment. Sorry,
Ba-
Deji.
Basically, in this version, Edgeworth's father kind of humiliated, really sensed that something foul may have been up. So in this version, he actually goes to check on the evidence and gets intercepted by the bailiff. He was
Whoa,
poisoned.
what's that buffering?
It's the sound that he's dead.
Basically, Red White has been poisoned, probably by whoever he was working with.
Joyful.
He was poisoned with poison.
No,
Wow,
really?
What a amazing
Tell us
conclusion.
more, Detective Gumshoe.
I mean, what next is he going to say? He's been shot with a gun.
Yes.
Well, it could have been shot
Well-
with a bow and arrow, technically, or
And
a
he also-
crossbow, or
Yeah.
a boomerang.
You just reminded me of that thing for that stupid woman from Morality in Media. He was whipping her with a whip. No shit, Sherlock.
I got it. He fell from a building.
Now, that's actually a clever thing in the movie. See, it makes sense that Yanni Yogi would have been the one who poisoned Red White, since he, as far as we know, is probably the one who killed Edgeworth's father. Yanni Yogi. His wife's name is...
Polly. He's married to the parrot. Ew. The final day.
24 hours remain.
Yes.
And now it's time for things to brighten up!
So was that caption in English in the always, like, was that some kind of thing the sub people did?
I think
Like, was
it
it
may
actually in
have-
English?
I think it may have actually been in English, because some Japanese
Who is
things
this
do that.
guy?
Oh, him? He's one of the police cops.
The why is
Okay.
he police uniform unless he's a detective?
He's a detective.
There you go. Thank
Not
you,
just
Phoenix.
that, they could have easily used that spot to give an interesting Easter egg or cameo, like having him being Marshall or something.
How sad.
What's that? Oh, it's the Thinker.
Yeah, the other thinker.
Okay, guys, I got it. Was the Thinker pose like an original thing, or did they? Or did
It's an
someone on
original
the-
It's
It's
a
about-
sculptured limbs.
Twins,
That's
you
classic.
don't know about
you-
the thinker?
Twins,
Guys,
read a
guys,
fucking book.
Guys, come on. Not everyone knows everything. Let's not be so harsh on him.
But isn't that
No,
some...
I'm sorry, Deji, but I mean, it's one of the first things that pops up when it comes to, famous art in the world. Like
Oh,
the
wait,
Mona
hold on,
Lisa.
wait, hold on. I love
Yeah,
this
but
time.
I'm not an
Wait,
art
hold on.
sculptor.
What
No.
the fuck?
So the Yokai Watch got the whole sewing for time by that.
Even Wumi
Well-
Karma, actually.
Well, that's not news to anybody, honestly.
Silence, guys. I'm not an arts person.
What? The Blue Badger intervened?
Thank
Yes,
you.
the blue badger
But
wants to
wait.
be in the movie.
That's,
don't-
okay, that's legitimately creepy.
But wait, it gets even better.
Is that the blue
Anyway, I
man?
was gonna say, was someone from whoever when someone did the design of the Thinker statue, was someone a Bruce Forsyth fan or something?
Gumshoe
knows?
found the parrot, I guess.
And
Yeah,
I guess he was the one that's delivering the bird. Wait.
oh my god,
Yeah.
no one was in the Blue Badger suit.
Wait,
So the
what?
Blue Badger, so basically, Blue Badger is alive.
Holy
Apparently,
shit, that's legitimately creepy.
Please, Joe, please tell me there's going to be a sequel where the Blue Badger goes full Johnny from Short Circuit and starts going apeshit and killing people.
there might be.
Or Danganronpa, Monokuma.
What?
Japanese words, Japanese words.
You guys have no idea what Danganronpa is?
I know what Danganronpa is. It's basically Ace Attorney, but in high school.
Well,
Yeah,
this-
Ace Attorney. Yeah, think Ace Attorney if it was made by Atlas. I mean, it's not made by
Well,
Atlas.
Yeah, it's Ace Attorney meets Persona with a pinch of Igarashi.
Anyway. Witness.
Also, can you just point out that Yanni Yogi wasn't even remotely funny like he was in the original game? I mean, I guess we won't play more seriously, but still.
Admittedly, considering how
Yeah.
tragic a backstory he has, I actually do like his portrayal in this movie and what they do with him. But then again, that's for you to see, since I don't think you've seen up to this part of the movie before.
No, I think we stopped halfway through before.
Yeah.
So essentially, Tio, I press square in LA Noire all the time to doubt people.
Of course.
With okay.
Is he smarter than the average bear?
Or is he Yami Yugi?
He ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oh yeah, okay. If watching this movie in a foreign language gives me the idea to maybe we could do the Raid films one day.
What?
Sorry. Yeah, the Raid films, they're foreign language, so I think doing another foreign language one wouldn't be much of an issue.
In which language they're made?
Indonesian,
Oh boy.
Oh.
but don't worry, the guys, they have English subtitles.
What is he doing?
So
By posing my hand. Alright, it's true, it doesn't have fingerprints.
ugh,
It can actually happen.
yeah. Well,
Larry, everyone can hear you.
yes, the thing.
The thinker?
Just
believe
believe in
it.
the heart.
Believe in the heart of stuff.
Believe in the heart of the art.
Even the bum's telling him it's over.
Oh boy, here we go.
Wait a minute. Isn't it ironic that the thinker was a plot device that was used in 2 cases in the game?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's going to be the one to help Phoenix for the final case.
Hold it! If you want witnesses,
BRB.
there is one.
Be quiet, parrots.
Here we go. Oh, Phoenix, he knows he is BSing, but it's his only shot.
And the judge is like, what you say?
I request Polly.
Luke, Phoenix, you don't have Luke
guys.
with you. You can't do it.
Oh, you'd be surprised what I can do, Mr. Mon.
Mr. Mon.
Digimon.
It's magic.
Oh, Magic.
Well,
Sorry, Mr. Magic. Oh my god,
Here we
Dixie,
go.
you do know your name could be a pun, right?
There you go, Liz. Take a good look at
Yeah.
the bird to see that it's not CGI.
Is that bird smirking? What's her name?
To be fair, that's the most concise testimony we've had so far.
Yeah. It says you. That's, I guess, a point. Do me a favor, Polly.
Oh,
Those numbers have to mean something.
Birth, November 2nd. Death, June 2nd.
Please, wait. Take a look at this.
I love how the judge just waited before.
Aha!
Alright, what did I miss? What the hell?
And what did I miss too?
Of course.
Yogi.
It's the part where Phoenix discovers that Polly is also the name of his wife.
All the dates related to Polly and Yanni Yogi.
What the?
This is the greatest ass pull ever.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, this was in the original game.
Even so, this is an ass pull.
Whatever. Ace Attorney's kind of
I've
that's kind
seen
of part.
worse ass pulls in the franchise, Deji.
And to be fair,
suspension of disbelief, and then there's just like thinking you're an idiot.
Okay. To be fair, Deji, we have actually had a course case in real life where a parrot has been testifying for murder. No, I'm not making that up. That actually
he
happened
isn't.
this year.
I believe it. It's the fact that Phoenix knew that this was bullshit and he was stalling for time.
Deji, you do realize that kind of sums up real life court, lawyers using whatever means necessary to win their case, right?
Okay, I'm positive of the fact that most of the scenes with the parrot were improvised, so props for the actors to react properly.
Just please don't poop on my suit.
The way he stares.
Please don't poop on my suit, Polly. There. I guess not, huh?
Also, let's hope they cut away his nails, because birds like that can be hurt real bad by standing on your arms.
Yeah.
If you're not trained. Yeah, but like Phoenix is just doing.
I guess that wasn't going to work.
Also, that's where the image came from. I remember seeing these in one of the signatures on SMB.
Solly's
No,
signature.
but the first since I haven't seen this movie, the first time I watched it looked like a turnip.
Yeah. Basically, I believe it was on Solly's signature. Solly, Solly. Oh. Now here's another addition. Whereas in the game it just took...
Karma didn't retrain the parrot. What a twist.
Well, actually, no, he did retrain it, but Polly lets on something else. Basically, he's sort of connecting it like this. If the parrot heard Yanni's wife say I love you, it makes sense that the parrot named Polly, after his wife, would also be saying I love you, because it heard her say it every time.
And now this is a John Who movie.
So yeah, okay.
To have a bit of an identity crisis.
Okay. I will say it. I do love how Phoenix uses that third bit about the parrot saying I love you to nail Yanni Yogi.
Well,
Well, it makes as much sense as it can.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like it. What do you think?
Actually, also this movie does emphasize how tragic it is for him. Uh-oh.
So if I recall, this is supposed to be Maya's mother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Misty Faye.
I did not.
That's bullshit. I did not hit him. I did not hit him. I did not.
Oh, hi, Miles.
Oh, hi, Phoenix. Yeah.
Oh, Robert Hammond.
Okay, never mind.
So
Edgar, is you okay?
No one's okay, Shiroi. Well, except for Phoenix, who may have the least amount of trauma out of any main character at the moment.
So the localizer's named Robert Hammond partly after a Top Gear host? Huh.
You didn't do nothing.
Whether you killed him or not has nothing to do with me.
Actually, wasn't that Edward Faber paid Jova?
No. That was actually Robert Hammond.
Oh, okay. Yay, where are the confetti?
Well, let's just say this was one where he got innocent.
Remember, Teo, the way that he got Yogi not guilty is by declaring him mentally incapable and
Oh,
shit.
true.
It's like
true,
even
true.
the court people are kind of going, no way.
Yeah, what a cop-out.
Oh, and it gets even better. He has such a bad reputation that people constantly plastered his home with derogatory terms like murderer, killer, and everything.
That's something that kind of happens in my country regularly to serial killers.
And that's another thing that I actually do like, is like they're showing just how much he was pushed into really wanting to kill Edgeworth.
Like,
This kind of thing
like the
happens a
public
lot here.
opinion in my country is batshit insane when it comes to murders.
Yeah.
I do like that they're going more in depth into Yogi's character, but at the same time, couldn't we do this also for the other characters?
Well, we do it with the other characters.
Not
Actually, I
just
mean,
that,
remember how we
it's
saw the
clear maybe want to
flashbacks?
establish lore building for the world it's set
Could
in.
Maya have a character
But it's
at all?
just, but it's Pedro's told. It's pretty much disproportionate.
I don't find it
some-
disproportionate, but again,
Yogi so far has had the character who has the most character development in this movie.
Well, Phoenix had character development a lot, as did Larry and
But
Edgeworth
again,
through the flashbacks.
for example, we didn't saw him interacting enough with Mia to justify, the tragicness of her death.
Admittedly, that's more so Maya's avenue, so that sort of does balance
And
stuff out
again,
of it.
Maya's chemistry with Phoenix is almost non-existent. With two, in fact, one of the things that I remember the most is when the two actually bicker with each other when Phoenix found the evidence on the ground.
Again, that has to do with them sort of, working at the trusting, which they've been doing over the course of the movie. I will agree it is weird that he chose to build it up over the course of the movie, but it does become warranted as they do trust each other more and more with time to time, which again has to do with how Case 2 ended a bit differently, which was merged with Case 4 again for the sake of adapting this into a story. Again, there's nothing fundamentally wrong with this adaptation, but I will see why some people may have issues with it, especially compared to the game. Now, granted, most people...
That.
Oh, the package.
I understand why it's okay for this movie to do it, but not the anime. But
Apparently,
whatever.
Takashi
Because this
Miike-
movie did it better.
No, it didn't.
And honestly, Pedro boy, I can see that the fact that this movie has only like 2 hours to squeeze in all stuff, while the anime has like 24 episodes to do stuff, 12 of which dedicated to the first game, and basically we just did that. Oh, it's a revolver.
Apparently, Takashi Miike is going to be doing a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure movie.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
But yeah,
At
you
least
were
the
saying
characters
to
in the
you...
anime behave properly.
That's also questionable in certain
I
areas.
mean, it starts a bit rough, then it goes really better, but by the time of Turnabout Samurai, it plummets to death and never recovers, at least for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to admit, I do agree with the people who say that the movie was overall a better adaptation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the anime,
Honestly,
but...
Bojova, no, I'm not even holding any. Ow! Oh,
Ugh.
Jesus, fuck.
Ugh.
So that's how he got to the burning the thing.
Talk about
Exactly.
dedication to the cause. Ugh.
Why are we focusing? Don't get me. What? The time that's being spent on this would have been better served in building up Mia, like Teo said.
Okay. I will agree about that. While I do feel that most of the characters do get their proper build-up, Mia could have been done better. I will concede that. That said, it does lead to this rather unique breakdown of Yana Yogi's.
Well, I'm not feeling more sympathetic to him, is that what the movie's asking.
No. The movie's not asking you to be downright sympathetic, but it is showing how he's a tragic character.
What?
He's kind of
Are we the Fatal Frame adaptation now?
He's hallucinating that the parrot is his wife, saying that she loves him.
In the cage at the head at the...
That looks terrifying.
Yeah, I'm both disturbed and confused at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Yanni's actually upset that this is his wife he's seeing, or if this image is just traumatizing him right now.
Well, I guess in the end he did really go insane.
Breakdown.
The judge is clueless, I guess. Also, yeah, there's another thing, Jova, that we pointed out before. The fact that the judge acts throughout all the way for this movie, at least so far, like he doesn't give a shit aside from one single scene where he expresses some genuine curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, for all the movie, it's just been like,
you're exaggerating there, Dwibs, but I do agree with you, Tio.
Yeah, even when he orders silence, he's like, yeah, guys, can you just stop, please?
Yeah, like I said, they're going with his first turnabout persona, which, while funny, is nowhere near his best. Well, snap.
You say. Sounds like they're trying to.
Are we in a Western saloon now?
Play me up, Bubs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
Is Maya trying to be the Hugh Laurie of this movie?
I guess they train in playing piano at Kurain.
Actually, that's the cool thing. Her actress is actually pretty skilled at piano, so they found a way to fit it in. Basically, they're looking in Edgeworth's office for some potential information.
Oh, so it's like in Beyond Two Souls, where they try to fit Ellen Page's guitar playing.
Albeit done better here because it's kind of just, a background side thing as opposed to...
Plus, that is one thing I do like when actors get to use their other talents in movies or TV shows or whatever.
So, Pedro, who's better piano, Maya or Phoenix?
Well, Maya, duh.
Oh, come on. Now, don't tell me you don't want to hear more of Phoenix's angelic piano playing.
Let me guess, he's terrible at it.
He's played... Basically, Tio, he's paid not to play piano.
Oh. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Let's just say Ace Attorney 4 takes Phoenix into a direction you'd never think they would.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not in a good way.
Well, okay.
I'll see.
It's debatable. Partly in a good way, but for the fourth case, oh, God.
I like the first case of Apologists, but that's
I
about
agree.
it.
Okay, one thing I could say I appreciate for this movie is the fact that they show the bureaucracy stuff
Extra
of the
round.
legal world. The fact that the characters are constantly flipping between pages and pages and papers, because that's what they actually do.
All right, guys, here we go.
Sonic
The bonus
boom!
round. Oh.
Again, though, the lack of the fact that they're not in the elevator and the fact that there's not the lack of oxygen makes me even question the reason why they killed Edward's father.
Admittedly, it's sort of down here where they make the excuse that there was a lack of oxygen within that tiny area. So yeah, there's that. Also, I guess part of the reason they moved it down here was because of that shift in story, and also maybe because they couldn't shoot it in... Well, they couldn't shoot a scene like this in an elevator, I'm guessing. Oh.
Wait, he still did kill his father?
Well, that's what they're suggesting, that he threw it at Yana Yogi.
This is how Edgeworth remembers it.
Okay.
It still haunts me to this day.
He looks kind of like Masahiro Sakurai from that angle.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't. That's it. Honestly, I think that actor is miscast. Honestly, He doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't have the same. His facial structure is not even close. Like he doesn't even look. He's not good at pulling off the cocky look. It's.
Well, to be fair, the
No,
script
again,
doesn't allow him to
well,
do
it's
that.
something that seems to plague the vast majority of the characters. The fact that there seems to be a clear lack of direction. Like, the responsible people for this movie knew what the game were about and obviously played it, but didn't exactly wanted to go full into it. So they just tell vague directions, giving what the plot was about, and say, "Do what you do your best." To the
I
actors,
feel it
probably.
works for the most part, but I can see where you're coming from.
The actors of Edward is called Takumi Saito. Let me check his biography.
Actually, allow me to say one bit of trivia, by the way, but I'm surprised Joe didn't bring it up,
he was
honestly.
in Robogeisha! I love that movie.
The second bullet was,
Non-existent.
No, wait, it did exist. What if someone
He
took
was
it?
also in a Godzilla movie, but his career is pretty much mostly obscure Japanese movies.
Mhm.
But he was in Robogeisha, I remember that. So what did he did? Oh, I get it.
Oh, screw you, Von Karma.
Anyway, here's a little bit of trivia for people. These two actors, the actors playing Phoenix and Maya in this movie, they actually reprised their roles in the crossover in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if Maya's actress reprised also a role for Project X Zone, or they chose someone else. But
I'm guessing that was the official Capcom actresses.
Eureka!
she didn't that one up until then because she wasn't voiced in
Oh, hi, Mia.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Starting with Dual Destinies, Capcom
And,
hired actors who became the official voice actors for those characters.
And remember, Phoenix changes his Japanese voice actor every 5 minutes, so I don't even want to count that.
Not really. Most of the time it's Sam Riegel.
Actually, no,
He's
I
talking
mean
about the Japanese
voice actor.
ones.
Oh, okay then.
Hold on, give me a second.
Well, Jova, correct me if I'm wrong. The guy who did him in Dual Destiny's Japanese version, hasn't he been the only one playing him since then?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, no.
Nope.
I'll
They
give
had a
you-
different
I'll
one for the
give you-
original
I'll-
trilogy.
Okay, he's voiced by someone. He's consistent throughout the 4 Ace Attorneys with objection, hold it lines. The actor who played him in Project Cross Zone 2 is the same one who did for promotional material. Then he gets one for the crossover, one for the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, one for the anime, and that's pretty much it.
Didn't he get a new one for Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice as well?
No, it doesn't. It's not stated though.
I'm really
Not bad.
surprised because Japan. I'm really surprised because Japan tends to be really consistent with voice actors. So
I know.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that an actress. Sorry, I'm surprised that a character as popular as Phoenix is in Japan wouldn't get an actual consistent voice actor.
Oh, that reminds me.
it's
That
really-
reminds me.
really
Originally,
that big in
Shutakumi voiced him. So
Yeah,
that means he does have a different voice actor for Spirit of Justice and Dual Destinies. Anyway.
When it comes to Maya Fey, let's see.
Anyway, basically everything is connected.
Yeah. Oh.
So wait, you're telling me that this was actually ghost written by the Wachowskis?
No, it's the better kind of everything is connected. Thank you very much.
Did you guys know that the English voice for Phoenix is Zor from Sonic Lost World?
Yep.
Yes, it's Sam Riegel. You know.
I love Sam Riegel as Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
But is Ace Attorney really that big in Japan?
Yes.
Yes,
actually,
Yes, it is. Yes.
Wait,
Consider
Deji,
this,
Deji.
consider
Ace
this,
Attorney
it was
is a
originally
console
made,
seller.
One at a
as a
time.
huge-
One at a time.
Okay.
It was originally made as a huge satire in regards to the Japanese law system, which was actually really corrupted and bad received. And apparently it actually helped because it actually improved over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So look at that. Capcom actually helped to save the country.
And meanwhile, Deji,
I thought that it was a niche series since I imagine itself.
It's
Okay,
a
okay,
niche.
okay,
It's
okay,
niche
okay.
over here, not in Japan.
Okay. Allow me to explain, Deji. It started off as niche because, visual novel, but believe it or not, Deji, Ace Attorney is part of the reason that visual novels became a thing over in America. And for every generation, Ace Attorney has been a handheld seller.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to look up the series.
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this, Deji. Dual
The
Destinies,
reason why
despite being
Investigations 2 wasn't localized was because Nintendo was kind of like cutting away the support of the Nintendo DS back then, so Capcom decided to just roll with it.
Also, Deji, let me put this into perspective. Dual Destinies, despite being digital only, for a pretty long amount of time, up until around the time Spirit of Justice came out, was pretty much always in the top 10 of the eShop sales.
Wait. Since until Spirit of Justice, you're telling me that they actually
Until
did,
around the time that Spirit of Justice was coming about.
we still haven't gotten a physical release though.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that was during the time when Capcom was in.
No, that's the thing. Capcom still doesn't have a lot of money, so they decide to handle things like not having a physical release of certain games.
I'll go more into
They do with stuff like Monster Hunter because they know it automatically sells like millions of units.
I'll go more into this later because we're about to get to another one of the best parts in the movie.
Sure. Oh, the metal detector.
Of course. That thing looks like
got the bullet with him.
It's in his arm, Deji.
Alright.
So, Von Karma, is your body ready?
Don't worry, it doesn't explode.
That metal detector looks really ancient in comparison to the one in the game.
Well, really?
Actually, it's because it's fan-made by Lair, it's not given by the police.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, huh. I want to change that.
Well, I guess because Phoenix didn't interact with Gumshoe that much.
Yeah,
True,
and
yeah.
basically Larry used the metal detector earlier to find the air tank. Ah, yeah.
Prepare your anus.
Thankfully, we don't have to conduct a strip search.
I'm just looking how the windows are.
Oh, trust me, Deji. I'm pretty sure the crowd always gets a fun ride whenever Phoenix or his company are the defense attorneys.
Alright.
Come on.
I am scanning to make sure you're not an alien.
It's
Okay,
like
Jovo, we get it.
Wait, that's not
actually-
me.
It's like Pokemon and me.
Pedro, that's not me. Are you mistaking Deji for me just because we're both black?
Oh, fuck you. I know what you're doing there, and I'm not going to even answer that.
Don't do it because you're both from New York.
Oh, come on, Dwibs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
The literally made the Zelda jingle when he
That
got
said,
to the
wise move.
Yeah, having the same accent is a more plausible thing than, you're both the black people.
That it is.
Okay.
I requested an
Also-
inspection of a handgun used in the DL6 case.
Why, Bo? Oh, because it's the same web.
Yep.
Also,
Anyway, Pedro, to answer your question about instead of Maya, as you mentioned, her voice actress in the crossover is the same the actress of this movie. She gets one of her own in the trilogy. I guess it's for the audio drama. Another different from the anime, and the one they used in Project Cross Zone 2 reprised the role for Ace Attorney 6.
Jesus Christ, the zigzagging.
She
Also,
was consistent, though. She seems to stay consistent in the end, though.
also,
Oh wait, hold
Weird how
on.
inconsistent the actors are.
Well, crap, the handgun is nowhere to be found.
Huh.
It's because it doesn't exist.
But
What?
the judge looked like William Hurt in that
Oh,
shot.
I like how he's dancing. Like,
you know what show I watch that also has trials in it occasionally?
yes.
Doctor Who.
Hmm.
Yeah, basically, the Doctor was put on trial like a gazillion times.
Yeah. Well, Joe, Dweebs, if you remember what he did, he has good reasons to be put on trials.
Yeah, meddling with time. How dare
Well, not just that. Remember, he caused the whole time war thing.
Well, again,
Let's go.
I came all this
whatever.
way
Well, again, Tio, I haven't watched Doctor Who past halfway through. Peter Capaldi's
Remember,
first
well,
season.
I'll tell you more later. Focus on the movie for
Sorry.
now. Okay.
He slams the desk, which pushes the books, which pushes the paper, which pushes the finger, which pushes the finger over the ledge, and then,
This is Home Alone.
of course,
The answer was inside the thinker, but what's inside?
let's see.
I'll be right back, guys.
Sure.
Why does everyone here leave?
Why does
that?
everything I touch die?
Well, I see it now.
What's that?
This is
This
it.
is shit.
The evidence Mia got by risking her life.
Again, Jova, there's no need to do thingy.
Again, we do it for the crucial moments. Heck, you even read a line earlier.
Yeah, but I was like,
Take that!
Best. So,
But why was it in the thinker?
Basically, Mia risked her life to get that evidence that man from Von Karma was hiding, because again, the two cases in this case are linked.
But how did she manage to hide it? There was no cab. It's not like a money bag or something.
Wait. Was this like in the game? Because I could have sworn it was
No.
the other.
It's
No,
similar.
actually-
hold on.
Phoenix doesn't-
Let me finish.
The way Phoenix finds the bullet in the game is different.
Okay,
No,
okay,
wait,
okay.
but was it in the thinker or no?
Okay. Basically, Deji, this is sort of an adaptation. It's like, well, okay, originally in case 2, there were some papers hidden in the clockwork, linked to the murder of Mia. Basically, this is sort of like that, only instead they're sort of merging the bullet that Phoenix found, thanks to reasons that I will not spoil to you yet, since you haven't played the game yet, and basically replace the paperwork with the bullet in this case, where she literally hid it in the clockwork where no one would look for it.
Huh.
is it me or did this attorney kind of predict that I forgot what's his name, Lance Armstrong? Yeah,
Going to the moon, what?
the guy. No. The bike
Ah.
turned out to be
Oh,
a
snap.
drugs cheat.
Oh, yeah, Armstrong.
Oh, he's finally snapping. Finally. Why couldn't it be from the beginning? It's like
Again,
very
in this
sad.
case, they ease us towards it to sort of reveal that he is the bad guy after all.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
better.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's not a recipe for being remembered, unlike Jeremy Irons in Dungeons and Dragons.
Again, they merge the best aspects of Man from Von Karma and do get to show it, so it salvages it, I think. Anyway.
That'd be something. What if they made like a Western Ace Attorney movie and
I was
got
just
Jeremy
about
Irons
to
in
say
it?
that.
Actually, well, Dwibs, remember, the musical takes place in America and uses the American names.
Yeah.
I meant like a proper.
Yeah, like if Hollywood made an Ace Attorney.
I think that could actually go well, because honestly,
I think it could be better than this.
it could go either way, yeah.
Alright, Phoenix is recapping what's going on, I guess.
But the handgun present there was disposed of by someone.
Okay, but where? His area is a complete mess.
They
This
dumped
bullet.
it.
Now watch as I turn this into a hologram!
What?
Phoenix, you're destroying evidence.
No,
Okay,
actually,
can
I'm
you
having
see-
it be scanned.
I can see that the vast majority of the budget got spent in the CGI for these scenes.
It will be a 100% match on both sides.
Well, isn't that what Japan mostly does?
But if it's 0%, then that means you're screwed.
Hey, Phoenix.
Such
What?
tension.
Hey, Phoenix, it's Emma. Am I in this movie?
No, Emma, sorry.
No.
Maybe the sequel.
If there is one.
Match rate 0%? What?
Oh, yeah.
What
Basically,
does that mean?
if it's 0%, then that means
0%.
that basically means that there are markings on the bullet as
Oh my
opposed to,
God,
you know,
I just
being
realised, wait.
unmarked.
bullets.
Oh,
can
it
be-
refers to the difference. I thought it was compatibility.
Oh, I just realised, bullets can also be called ballistics, and ballistic got a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, Dwebs, get it out of your system.
Dweebs, back here in the corner with you.
All right.
That's all right. I've already said what I wanted to say on that front.
So basically, what happened is that it was the other way it fired, and it just hit him in the arm.
Jesus.
And Von Karma, not being in the right state of mind, decided, you know what, I'm mad as hell. I'm going to shoot the guy who kind of cost me my perfect win record. The perfect record for over 40 years. Revealed to be a fraud.
What a twist.
Just like Armstrong.
Depends on which Armstrong you're talking about, Dweebs.
The cyclist.
Mm. Your toupee compels me, I guess.
Oh boy.
Ugh, why couldn't someone have got me a better wig?
I think those are actually his hair, Dweebs.
Your face is stupid.
You don't know
Jon
anything.
Snow. Oh, so he's doing the speech of Demon Gant, okay.
Yeah, I kind of wish they could have worked some bit of the fifth
Hey,
case
Shuri.
in. Oh, goody, Shuri, you're just in time for Manfred Von Karma's breakdown.
What time are you guys at?
2:03, 58, 59.
Oh, I'm a little bit behind.
Go to
You're about close enough,
205.
though.
I'm at 2:04:25.
Alright, we'll
Alright,
continue.
there.
Jesus. Whoa.
What's with the editing?
Basically, it's a mind
It's Japanese
screw.
editing, Dweebs, get used
Okay,
to
actually,
it.
it jumped to 29, so 2:04:29.
Alright,
Almost
continue.
there. Okay, Shioi, and click.
Click. But yeah, Dweebs, get used to it. Japanese editing tends to do that. They can like YouTube poops.
Well, I hate editing like that. It's very jarring.
I don't
I
know.
didn't
It has
think I'd
his,
end up missing
it has
as
his
much of the
charm,
second
Dweebs.
part.
Come
Don't
on.
worry. Ow. I think that...
Fuck.
Okay, is your head okay there? You kind of banged it a bit. Wanna bang it some more?
If you insult me like that, I'll make sure you can never bang again.
This doesn't feel like a breakdown to me. It feels more like a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of how his breakdown was in the
Oh,
game,
it's
too.
still a bit funny nonetheless. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prefer the
Again.
game version.
Pay... Okay, fair enough. However, though, the anime was... Oh, God.
No, I will agree that the anime didn't do this well either.
No.
So-
This does it better than the anime. I mean, really, the anime was literally just...
Yeah. He's right, Pedro. The anime is a disappointment in this regard.
I mean, here, Von Karma's breaking down,
And,
but...
and it's a shame because the anime recaptures the over-the-top spirit at some points, like
It
in doing the
does.
objections and stuff.
You know what I think is the absolute best anime we've ever had? The Pachinko game.
That's saying a lot.
Well, again, those... Oh, hey, Apollo theme.
Hang on, let me listen.
Why are we playing Apollo's theme for this scene?
Because Light of Truth, basically, his theme is literally called A New Youth from Court and whatnot.
Oh, come on, not even Gamshu can get arrested him? That's lame.
Hey, quick question. In the anime, how is Damon Gant's breakdown?
No
Really?
comment.
No, he's not even in the anime.
No comment.
Wait, what?
They escaped rise from the ashes.
That was a bad idea. I'm just
God.
I'm just
That's
gonna
a huge no-no for me.
Agreed.
Damon Gant is one of my favorite Ace Attorney characters.
Me too. And again, the pachinko.
He's one of the best ones objectively as well. Like,
Indeed. It's like Damon Gant is a clear recollection of a fallen hero.
I also
Yay.
Joker's not guilty.
Yes!
Buddy.
And again, remember, Shiroi, remember the pachinko anime cutscene I showed to you involving Damon Gant and how awesome that was?
Yeah, that was really creepy.
Covered in confetti. Harry, what are you doing?
He's doing what he should do, being the character from the game.
Aw,
Gumshoe.
Gumshoe.
It's like his characterization was fighting to get out.
And now Maya can finally smile with a
Wait.
clear conscience.
Did the guy who
Oh, hi,
was the Mr.
Shutakumi!
Did the guy
Oh,
who
look, guys, there's
yeah,
Shutakumi there, the guy with the
yeah.
big ears.
Yeah, I know.
I know this
On-
because I believe it was actually his co-worker at the time, who's the guy who's the head of Platinum?
He said my mother was a mistake. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah! Now I remember. I believe it was Kamiya who actually drew a sketch of him with huge ears.
Hideki Kamiya?
Yeah, back when he was
kinda-
working at Capcom, and Kamiya was also the voice of Godo.
I have to really question Takumi's judgment at the time, because if I was the creator of Ace Attorney and I saw this movie, I would be angry.
Well, Pedro, sometimes Pedro, just because you're the creator,
Maybe he was
something
just happy to get an extra paycheck from the
Yeah.
rights of his movie.
and also, Pedro, just because you're the creator of something doesn't always mean that you'll be on point.
Case in point, George Lucas.
That's a common misconception. That's a common misconception. George Lucas didn't actually create Star Wars. People took his original ideas and made the movies, and he took the credit for them.
Well, to be fair, if it weren't for his original ideas, there wouldn't be any Star Wars.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's the thing.
Unless he was just...
I know you hate the guy, Pedro, but give him a little bit of credit.
Unless he was just the person with the money.
Well, if you want me to, I'll give him credit for the shit he went through to make the first movie, but I'll stop there.
Anyway, basically,
Besides, I think the worst thing to come from Star Wars wasn't even directly from him anyway, so...
how about that?
Well, that's probably.
Well, Edgeworth, are you showing me those unnecessary feelings, as you call them?
Symbolism!
Yes, it did. He was the producer for the Clone Wars movie as well.
Also, in another bout, Phoenix is actually
I said
going...
I said directly, not like
Anyway,
He still approved it.
Anyway, so in another bout, if you guys will stop fighting, basically, Phoenix is also going to help maybe take up Yanni Yogi's defense. Who knows?
Yeah, in the mist of time or something.
Oh! What?
Oops.
What do you mean, It was you!
Yes, it was
Yep.
a twist.
I became an attorney only because I was so moved by what you guys did for me.
And also, what's with this music now?
J-pop, I guess.
Oh, now I'm pissed. I'm gonna see what's the past, you jerk!
Oh, and this is the...
This is where Maya says, "See ya."
Yeah, but in this case, Phoenix calmly accompanies her, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea what they're saying in the song, but I do love the melody.
I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit the tone.
This is my favorite scene in the game, and it's completely butchered
Why
by.
not fit the music plays in the background?
I know. Fuck you, Takashi Miike. Fuck you.
This coming from the guy who says he's apparently indifferent.
No, honestly,
Well,
Joe,
just
I-
well.
no,
Well, I
no,
mean,
but
okay.
The score for this movie is a mess.
Allow me to clarify, Jova. I'm indifferent to the movie in general. This particular scene, though, no.
Oh, okay.
So, final thoughts, I guess?
Oh no,
I mean,
no, we're not done yet.
I can move on because this movie. It's not like this movie changed how the games were made or anything. So
Yeah.
whatever.
And honestly, this
would you-
movie really did only good, really, in like getting people more attentive to the games. I mean, this movie didn't really do anything bad, like the likes of Last Airbender.
Well, if a misrepresentation makes attracts more fans, isn't that a bad thing because it attracts them from the wrong reasons?
Well, it's not even really
That's
misrepresentation.
kind of like
Sounds
people getting
like
into
a
Final
word
Fantasy
for you.
because they like Final Fantasy X.
What was that, Deji?
Okay, first of all, isn't Final Fantasy X considered to be a good game? And two,
No,
Sonic
it's
would
just
like a word with you.
It's a common misconception, right, Theo?
Ten's divisive.
Anyway, basically, this isn't really so much a misrepresentation as, again, exaggerations here and there, and the events are overall pretty much lead to the same result and conclusion. Now, you want to talk about misrepresentation? That's the likes of Last Airbender or the Wing Commander movie.
Or the
Well,
Super Mario Brothers.
yeah. Being better than movies that are completely.
I'm not
pieces of
comparing them.
shit.
I'm not even comparing them, Pager. Don't even.
Okay, that was a nice reference. So.
Yes. And Pedro, I'm not comparing them. Please, this movie is well above them. Anyway.
Well, yeah, of course. No one ever said otherwise.
And again, it's sadly a
Anyway,
what?
Em,
Why
so,
is everyone having the gem in
so
the guitar?
how do you explain this defense?
And why is the
You'll
The
see
Wing Commander
what.
movie had more direct involvement from the guy who made the freaking
That's unfair.
franchise.
What in the world is that?
Okay, we're
Jamming
playing
Ninjas trained by great guitar.
Yeah, so basically this is a little sneak peek at the sequel that never came.
Oh, it's apparently due to come. Takashi Miike's just busy with other stuff. Also, we don't know if there was actually a sequel in the works, so who knows?
This looks like the next time trailer you see in
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
next time on Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright tries to pull his objection.
Objection!
Wait, so I need to know, before we even started this, I was saying, would you agree with the general consensus that this is considered to be one of the best video game adaptations?
Well, considering the competition, yeah, I would agree with that. And besides, I already like it, but even taking that out of the equation, this does a lot of things better than, for some reason, a lot of video game adaptations can't manage to pull off for some reason.
Alright, that's it.
Okay, Deji, since you're the newest one, why don't you give your thoughts first?
It's a movie. It's not great or bad. It's just
Yeah, let me guess though, it gets you hyped to play the game.
I think it just the problem with the movie is the pacing.
Thank you.
Oh no. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's the pacing, and I feel things weren't really built up that way well.
Excuse me.
It just feels too rushed at times.
Mm-hmm.
And the last, I don't know what it is about the last court, but it just felt like, yeah, it's a thing. There were some good moments, but and the villain speech at the end, but besides that, it's not it's not offensive or terrible. It's just okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
Shall I go next?
Better than the anime.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, Shura, you go next.
Oh, Dwibs wanted to go next.
Sure, go ahead, Dwibs.
Okay, in terms of video game movies, when I look at a video game movie, I look at it in two ways: whether it's a good movie in the first place, and how faithful it is to the source material. In terms of being an actual movie, I think it's a bit disjointed. The pacing is really inconsistent, and the characters themselves removed from the source material are really extremes. Some of them are wacky, but some of them are just dull. And as for being an Ace Attorney movie, again, a few of the characters are accurate, and the time. But honestly, that kind of hurts the movie. Most of the movie is portrayed as a very ultra serious movie, and yet when it tries to be Ace Attorney,
not most of it actually, to be fair, but I'll explain that.
When it tries to be Ace Attorney, it feels really out of place.
Well, actually, it has quite a lot of humor to balance out the dark stuff, especially during the courtroom bits. I won't deny that there is a lot of dark to it, but I'm saying you're kind of forgetting a lot of the humor, too.
I don't think there was that much of it, at least from what I could see. And I know what Tio said earlier. We shouldn't really compare video game movies, but in terms of live action video game movies and their fun factor, I'd honestly watch the Tomb Raider movie over this, the first one.
Again, personal preference. I just agree to disagree.
Yeah, because I think that was more faithful. Plus, I honestly have a better time watching that movie. So yeah, this one it's not Tomb Raider, but at least it's not Warcraft.
So basically, just in the middle ground of good.
It's in the middle ground. I think it's just meh. I mean, nothing about it makes me excited, but at the same time, nothing about it really angers me on some parts that got Pedro pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm done.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Pretty much what Dwibs and Pedro said. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't have kept all the characters as they were in the games, because that's the whole reason that people went to see the movie, was to see the characters that they already know and love. And the pacing, again, like I said, it could have been improved if they just adapted them. They just made the movie an adaptation of just Rise from the Ashes.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity, I'll admit.
The music was not very Ace Attorney, apart from the 2 tracks which were from the game, so they don't count.
Actually, 3.
3?
Yep.
Oh man, the music was forgettable, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll get to it when I'll discuss.
Although, to be fair, I think that's because I had my volume low at times, so I can also hear you. So.
And also, like I said, the movie seemed to have a bit of an identity crisis, because the tone was very off in a lot of places. Apart from that, pretty much what everyone else said. It's I won't not watch this. I mean, this isn't a Mario Brothers.
So when are you guys doing a commentary of that movie?
Eventually.
If it depended on me, we would never do it because I fucking hate that movie.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. Yes it is.
I just thought, in terms of the movies I've picked, which haven't been very many, I think I'm the only one who has yet to pick a bad one.
Sure, you did pick Mamma Mia.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's true.
Super Mario.
I thought Pedro picked that.
No! God forbid I would pick that piece of fucking shit. Like seriously.
Wait, pick what? Pick what?
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. God dang, that is song in.
Seriously. Do you really think that? Do you really think that low of me, Shiroi?
Sorry, no. I'm sorry. I completely erased that comment. Oh no,
Oh God, sure, you
so
broke
sorry.
Pedro's heart.
And now I'm angry. Now I'm mad at you. Now I won't talk to you.
Come on, Pedro, don't go all tsundere.
Moving on.
But how are we gonna watch South Park if you don't talk to me?
With
Taya, would you please tell the Welsh lady that I'm mad at her?
Can we move on, please?
Yeah,
Alright.
sure. No. Yeah, to wrap that up, I pretty much erased that commentary from my brain, but then I remembered Dwibs' reaction to
Pierce Brosnan singing.
Pierce Brosnan singing, yes.
And then when he and Meryl Streep tried to do it at the same time.
I love those
Ears
actors.
bleeding.
Why did I have to...
Yeah, but anyway, I won't not watch this movie. I have watched it a fair few times before this. It's alright. It's harmless enough.
I'm guessing you found the musical a lot more fun.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Oh yeah. And that reminds me, Shuri, because the musical itself was an adaptation of Rise from the Ashes, which showed that, yeah, that idea is
Dwibs
good.
is trying to do
Yeah.
Welsh.
Yeah, that's exactly yeah. That's like Jova said. Like considering how drawn out Rise of the Ashes is, taking that case and summing it up in a movie that would actually work much better.
And they did it well. I mean, like, well, they even managed
Then
to
it's
like have
probably
both Maya and
incredibly
Emma in
inaccurate.
it. Well, to be fair, they did have Phoenix being a love interest of the Lana Sky shoe-in for that one. But again, different universe.
All right. I guess it's me now, or is it two?
You
Go
go,
ahead,
Pedro.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'll start. Okay. I'll start with the things that I liked. Okay, just so
Or
I'm not...
do you want to maybe start with the bad and end with the good?
It's his spots. Let him decide.
All right.
Well, Joe, but that's the thing. There's more bad things than I have to say than good things. That's the problem.
Jova, you can be the air
okay.
of positivity at the end.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Yeah. Go
I
on.
like Larry.
Mm-hmm.
I like when it actually brings up Ace Attorney music.
3 times it does.
I like a couple moments that are really over the top and comedic that actually really capture the spirit of the games.
Agreed.
They're few and far apart, but I like them. What else?
The parrot scene.
The parrot scene. Yeah, the parrot scene was kind of weirdly awesome.
And Phoenix literally trying to slow down the corp by going, no way.
Yeah.
You're stalling for time!
All right. But the thing is, okay, I don't really. I get what the director was trying to do with this movie. He was trying to make a more, like, okay, how should I put this? Like,
A more balanced, quote unquote. I say quote unquote.
Okay, actually. Okay, how about this? I'll just make Swade's words my words.
Oh, goody.
I think the problem is that the direct, instead of trying to, incorporate the style of the games in a movie, instead he took his own style of how he makes his movies and imposed it on Ace Attorney. That's the problem I have here.
I think you're onto something with that.
Yeah, because like the way he made, like, it's like Teo said, he made a Yakuza movie. I'm actually really curious about that Yakuza movie that he made, because the style of filmmaking that I'm seeing from this movie feels to me like it would fit a lot better in Yakuza than in Ace Attorney.
Have you played the Yakuza games I forgot, Pedro?
I haven't played them, but I've seen some stuff.
Ever since I
Okay.
played Project Crossroad 2, which I still need to finish after I lick my wounds, I do need to get into the Yakuza franchise. It seems interesting.
You'll need to get a PS3 then, because quite a few of them are PS3 exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's okay. Like I said before, this movie is not horrible. That's not even that bad. It's not even bad exactly. It's just really, really mediocre in general. Like, okay. On its own merits, it's just a mediocre movie that suffers from bad pacing problems, like they've said. And as an Ace Attorney adaptation, I think it really misses the mark, because Gumshoe is barely in the movie, and he's one of the fan favorite characters.
And it doesn't look like its counterpart.
Admittedly, to him looking scrawny, that was apparently a gag, considering that he's so poor he can't afford many meals.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I liked the fact that they went into more detail with Yanni Yogi's character, but it kind of makes me wonder as well, why couldn't some of this focus also be put on,
Mia?
say, Mia.
Yeah, I'll agree. Mia was also kind of shafted when it came to screen time.
I mean, it's just okay. So is this movie for fans? Well, I'm a fan, and I'm honestly disappointed. Is it for newcomers? I honestly think a newcomer, if he tried to watch this as his first ever research, I think he's going to be confused, and he's going to be, wait, who are these people? What are they? Wait, slow down, movie.
Okay,
Like,
let's ask a genuine article. Deji, you're a newcomer.
Like me with the Warcraft film.
Well, he just said he found the movie mediocre, or meh, or...
Yeah, but was he
Oh,
confused
okay.
by it, though? Go on.
Was I confused? There were times where I didn't really understand what was going on. So, although that's because trying to read and talk at the same time and listen to a conversation does do that. So, I'm
Fair
sure
point.
if I watch it again, maybe I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
fair point.
This is
I will-
already taking quite a bit of long, so I'll finish my thoughts. It's an overall mediocre movie that should have been much better. Go ahead, Teo.
A fucking mess. I mean, it's still better than many video game adaptations, but still a fucking mess. Come on. I mean, the score is nails what it tries to do with the original score when it tries to reference that, but it's so spruce in between. It's too few because the vast majority of the movie is without music, I guess, to create atmosphere, but it doesn't. And there are original pieces, but they're generic at best. You have generic string when it comes to tension, like that scene where Yanni Yogi hallucinates his ghost wife. But yeah, the music is a mess. The characters, as mentioned, only a handful of them are faithful to the originals, and again, the changes they made to some are just baffling. Like Maya with that, it looks like a prostitute with that fur coat and the heels and everything.
Well, to be fair, okay. To be fair to you, if you look at the artwork, she always has the high flip flops.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, but still, the fur coat is whatever.
I will concede about the fur coat.
Anyway, moving on. Still, again, it looks to me as if the director or the screenwriter or anything knew about the games, but only decided to use a vague direction for writing this movie. And I don't really understand why. I mean, I guess they wanted to make an experiment to see what happened in that case, but still, what a weird decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure I can, accept that. I mean, I
Quick
can see where
question.
this is going. Yeah,
yes,
go ahead,
you're right.
Shiroi.
Did Level 5 make the Layton movie?
Yes, they did.
Maybe Capcom should have done the same.
No,
The-
no, they shouldn't.
The anime.
hold
The
on.
anime is. Wasn't the anime made by Capcom?
Yeah.
No. It was
No,
actually done by
commissioned
A1.
Capcom, but it still was commissioned by Capcom.
It was done
The
by
problem
A1
is
Pictures, the
that-
same people who are doing the cutscenes for Layton, and the same people who did
back in the
cutscenes.
day, Capcom also commissioned the Madhouse Studios to make a Devil May Cry anime, and that suffered the same problem of the Ace Attorney anime.
For the record, Shiroi, Hino was the writer and was a co-writer for the movie, and the director of the movie was the director of the animated cutscenes from the games.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much the exact same people.
And as I mentioned,
say
the
this. Oh, sorry, go on.
pacing is terrible. And the pacing is terrible. It starts too fast, try to recapping things in a very confusing way. And then it's slow. It screeches to it. It goes to a screeching halt when introducing this quote-unquote combination of second and fourth case that drags for the rest of the 90 minutes of the movie. It looks to me that this movie was made specifically for the fourth case and not very much else, and they wanted to squeeze in other stuff. But again, in Jordan Sue, they made such weird decisions, like the changes to look of the characters, like Red White, or even stuff like not showing some parts, like Phoenix and Maya. No, well, even April May, I guess, but Phoenix and Maya encountering Yanni Yogi in the boat shaft. In the boat shaft. But still, again, and it's strange because the movie actually does things that will actually fix parts of the game. Like
I know, right?
Immediately
It's so weird.
flipping the note of Mia's lamp receipt, which again, it was such a immediate thing to do, and the movie acknowledges it. But why sacrificing like 90% of the rest to get like a 5% of things done right? And
That's
also
exactly my main problem. They were focusing more on correcting the plot holes of the games rather than actually capturing what made the characters
not really,
great.
Because the correction still takes place on a very small percentage of the movie itself, so maybe it's just a thing that the editors added in maybe at the last minute, for all I know. But also the fact that other characters are actually really underutilized and they're present, they might as well not be there, like Gumshoe, as mentioned.
Oh, crap, I just
bizarre
remembered.
stuff like the Blue Badger, which found me aside from being there because it was just a piece of wood in the original game.
And it was from the 5th case.
Yeah, again,
Why did they
weird stuff.
include it?
Again, I'm pretty sure they referenced only the fourth game. I'm actually surprised that the Stinger wasn't about Rise from the Ashes. Instead, it was about Justice for All. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Still, but in the end, yeah, it's a fucking mess because there are some things good, but a lot of stuff is just not necessarily bad, but confusing and not done in the way someone expected to be. So I'm sure how to judge it as an adaptation. So I'll say it's meh. I mean, watch it if you're a fan of the games, but don't expect
yeah.
great things.
So aside from Jova, the consensus is meh.
I mean, well, no, your consensus, Pedro, is that you don't like it. It's more activity. I'm more towards the middle ground.
No. Even though I don't particularly care for it, I still think I still don't think it's a bad movie. It's just meh to me.
Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. Go ahead, Jova. I'll be right back.
Most of my problems with the movie are subjective anyway, so go ahead, Jova.
I was gonna start with something. Now it's my train of thought. But anyway, yeah. I'm one of the people who's a fan and likes this movie and also feels it could work for someone who's just getting into it. Again, though, I will say this, though. I see where people are coming from in this. Now, I don't feel that you'll get confused so long as you can pay attention to the movie enough, because it explains stuff well enough. But, okay, it's like, the best way to describe this is like a movie... Okay, actually, the best way to describe this is like, well, imagine if, say, a student is doing this project, and while he does get the qualifications and actually passes with flying colors for the most part, he makes mistakes that kind of keep him from getting, say, an A+. Like, instead he gets an A or an A-. Because, like, this is what it feels like. It's like Takashi Miike definitely has his heart in the right place making this movie, but in doing so, he kind of misses the mark, and, well, while they kind of accumulate into something that's kind of big and noteworthy, they're these tiny things that you notice over the side of it that you kind of have to scratch your head and wonder. Because, like, he does some things wonderfully that I have complimented, some changes that are pretty great, and that's, again, one of the reasons why I would recommend watching this. It's a nice take on Ace Attorney that, albeit, could use some fixing up here and there. Like, as you guys said, Fred White really did not have to be changed to look like Ozzy Osbourne. That was, I mean, it's radically different to look at, and when I say radical, I mean in the official term, not the cool term.
No, I almost thought you were going to say radical first.
They didn't even do anything with his new look. They just changed it just because they could, I guess.
Yeah. I do like how they handle Manfred von Karma better in this, however. I will admit we could have used a bit more of him being a shouty and grim-looking person. I mean, I will admit to that. However, I do like their progression into it and how they don't spoil who the bad guy is. Though, often the best Ace Attorney cases are the ones that don't spoil who the bad guy is from the start. What else? Oh, yeah. The music is very off and on. I like some tracks, don't like some other ones. As for character portrayals, okay, yeah. I'm a guy who can see why Maya acts the way she does, go in accordance with the story, so I'm a bit more forgiving about it, if only for the fact that she does go to actually being normal, happy Maya by the point where her character arc involving her mood does get properly wrapped up regarding both the criminals involved in the case getting their just desserts. And I also do love the ending speech between Phoenix and Manfred von Karma. That's a nice and also, yeah, a good reflection of Rise from the Ashes. Also, the Blue Badger is freaking creepy in this movie.
Yeah, the Blue Badger is definitely a highlight. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and yeah, the parrot too. Again, I do love the additions they made. It just could have used a bit. You know what? I just realized, guys. If we fuse the movie with the anime, that could actually make a great adaptation. I mean, when you think about it, the movie shortcomings could be canceled out by the anime shortcomings and vice versa.
Or they could be have both shortcomings and fail.
Well,
aren't you such a beacon of positivity?
I'm sorry,
Deji?
I'm joking.
Deji.
He's here to balance out.
But Deji,
I was a negative guy here.
but Deji. Earlier in this commentary, you claimed that you were the most happy and positive one of the member, but you have just presented a contradiction.
Breaking news. swashbuckling comms can't take jokes.
But don't you see what this means, Deji? You have presented a contradiction, which means objection!
Of course.
Because Jova is going to make an Ace Attorney reference at every possible opportunity he gets.
To be
Well,
honest,
it is an Ace Attorney movie
To be
commentary,
honest,
Shirai.
Shirai, if he doesn't do here, when does he actually has to?
Yeah. But yeah,
See, he agrees.
I was agreeing with Tio.
Moving on.
But yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I find this a fun movie. I mean, is it the best movie ever? Nah. This movie does have its issues, but it's definitely a fun watch, I'd say. And it's definitely a nice adaptation, and also shows how you can do live action stuff right. Thank you very much for getting the characters looking right. I'm looking at you, Sony. But yeah. Overall, fun movie. I recommend you watch it whether or not you're a fan of Ace Attorney. Heck, if anything, it'll do the nice effect of getting you interested in the series. And yeah, go ahead and watch it. Along with the stage shows and the musicals, which we'll all be commentating on. And of course, on Shirai's request, a Generations commentary of said musical. That reminds me, I think you guys will like the stage play, though, because the stage play is honestly like a live-action Ace Attorney movie. It's like it has the right looks, the right character development, and... well, there you go. It's like, seriously, though, the only problem with the musical is the fact that Phoenix has brown hair that's not even spiky.
Okay.
But, yeah, well... while not everyone may have enjoyed it to the best, we had fun commentating on it. I hope you have fun watching it, audience, and tune in for our next Ace Attorney-related thing.
And also for any future video game film commentaries we do.
See ya, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Goodbye.